So we'll hit the map pool really quick and then we'll start the draft. I guess very, very kind of what I would expect, other than H picking Alaska, but I think there was probably some strategy there. Kynesie obviously picking Dhaka, Saguenay, the two heaviest water maps that fit his style, and then Manchuria, another water map. And then H picking kind of the two standard land maps, Kamchatka and Mongolia. And then I believe he's picking Alaska here to take that pick away from Kynesie. However, that could backfire if this goes to game 7 and he has to pick his third map, then game 7 might be on Alaska. So kind of an interesting strategy there. I don't know, really quick, if you guys have any thoughts on the map picks.
I think it's pretty smart from Haza actually to pick Alaska and potentially use it as a map 7 if he needs to, because, well, if it goes to map 7, I'm 90% sure that Kynesie would already have the sports by then.
That's a very good point.
That's a great point, actually. And that means that actually Haitch is not going to be able to pick up ports unless he snipes it from Kynesie, assuming that Kynesie uses the power pick for Portugal. Is that correct?
We'll
That would
find
be
out.
correct.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
It depends who picks what civ first. But essentially, if both players desperately want to play Portugal, then yes, that is on the table. So, shall we actually get this civs going, and we can kind of talk as we go and see what players are thinking.
So let's see
Yeah, let's
H's
do it.
first pick.
Right. I'm gonna use the step through function. So the first pick is going to be H. So guys, you'll see it on the left hand side of the left innermost square. So because he's the highest seed, and the first pick is going to be. Oh, no, that's gone through. Because I did this, didn't I? Oh crap. Okay. Hold up. I'm gonna put you over here. I'm gonna sort this out quickly. So I need to turn off the There we go. That should be fine.
Oh,
yeah, that's fine.
we're
Okay,
back.
let's go back. We're here. We're alive. Okay, cool. Whew. Right, first pick is going to be H, and his first pick here is going to be the Portuguese. Basically, Kynesie's main squeeze. H, I've seen him play a lot of Portuguese as well. He likes to play quite a bit of the eco theory to spice trade. I'm sure he's a fine water player with it as well if the situation arises. And given that all of Kynesie's maps here are water maps, it gives him the opportunity to go for the water play as well.
Yeah, I think it's a smart first pick. Definitely, obviously denying it from Kynesie, forcing him to use his power pick there. If H doesn't pick Porch there and picks his favorite civ, like let's say he picks Russia hypothetically, then it means Kynesie could potentially pick up Portugal, Sweden, and then power pick something else. So yeah, smart first pick from H, definitely.
Oh, Harrison, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, definitely agree with Drongo there.
Yeah.
First of all, denying Kynesie's main civ is obviously good, and second of all, this civ is really good in this meta and on this map pool, and the third reason is also H can do some really strong Portuguese play, either on water or on land.
Right, so Kynesie now has 2 picks at his disposal, so his first pick is going to be the Japanese, and his second pick here is going to be, I was hoping that Tab would have worked there, but it's going to be Inca. So Japan and Inca are the picks here for Kynesie. Very defensive civs he's been playing lots of. No real surprises there in that sense.
Actually, I'm surprised that he picked Inca and not Sweden.
Yeah, me too. That's the surprising thing, because H doesn't give 2 shits about, or he doesn't care about Inca at all. You have Inca all you like, mate. But Sweden, that's a big one.
Yeah,
Spain's another one as well.
Yeah, he basically gave Spain and Sweden to H because he has to basically power pick ports, right? So now
Yeah.
if H doesn't pick Spain and Sweden, I'd be beyond shocked.
Yeah, it'll be Spain, Sweden, 100%.
Right, next pick for H. I'll see now H, because it's a snake draft, he has 2 picks. So his first pick here is going to be the Swedish, and his second pick, or should I say third pick, but the second in his set, is going to be the Spanish. You guys called it. So look at those S tier civs, the Portuguese, the Swedish, and the Spanish, one after the other. H must be very happy how this has gone so far.
Yeah, one of the things that we mentioned earlier is that you can have wins and losses at the drafting screen, and I feel like we're already heading in that direction right here. Haitch is just looking impressive. Already, just his civs are I mean, tiers above what Kynesie's got, but yeah, wow.
Yeah, and keep in mind too that he's still got to have his power pick, right? So he can take Shake Japan, or he can take maybe Dutch if Kynesie picks Dutch. He can probably get four of the top 5 civs depending on what he thinks those are.
Right, let's go on to the next pick for Kynesie. Kynesie now has 2 picks. For the time being, he cannot pick any of the civs drafted by Haitch so far, so remaining picks, for example, could be, let's say, Dutch, it could be the Ottomans. We'll see what he goes for. So Kynesie's 3rd civ is going to be the Haudenosaunee, and then his 4th civ here. Remember, in the map pool is the Fraser River, Dakota for game 1 and 4, and then all his maps on the bottom. Next civ is going to be the Aztecs. So actually, is drafting Aztecs in this kind of restricted civ pool situation.
Interesting pick, the Haudenosaunee. I don't think I've ever seen him play Haudenosaunee, but obviously they're very strong, especially on a map like Manchuria. We can do the dock start and very strong H3.
I kind of like Aztec as well. I guess one of the things I'm thinking about is like you're gonna have to play a game 4. You have to, even if you lose the first 3 games, you have to play a game 4. If Kynesie goes into that game, because Sweden typically is a civilization that's quite good on Fraser River, quite good on Dakota. He can almost be certain that Sweden is going to be picked up on either of those 2 maps for Haitch. So by going Aztecs do quite well against Sweden, in my opinion, as long as they maintain early pressure. So who knows? I think that we might see that coming out as a counter pick. I did talk about Canusalbear bringing out the United States counter pick. Perhaps this is Kynesie bringing out the Aztec counter pick for Sweden. It's exciting.
Yeah. So H gets 1 pick here of a civ that hasn't been picked, and then a free pick of any civ he wants, basically, that he hasn't already drafted.
So he's gone for Ottomans here as his final open pick, which that surprised me. Is it Ottomans maybe for the maps, maybe counted Kynesie? Let's go check his final pick. Remember, this is the power pick, so you can pick any civ which Kynesie has drafted, or one which is still yet to be drafted, and he's gone for the Japanese.
Yeah, not surprised by that at all.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, overall, a really nice pull for Haitch. A little bit surprised by that Otto pick. I guess we might see Ottos potentially come out on Darker. We have been seeing a fair few Ottoman plays on Darker, so that could be what we potentially see. But yeah, I'd be curious to see what Kynesie's final pick is. I suspect it's probably going to be the Portuguese, though. But I mean, it could be the Swedes, it could be the Spanish as well.
I'm just checking the chat. Quite a lot of guys saying the stream is buffering. I want to check because on my end everything's absolutely fine. Let's check with my if I can close.
I'm not. I've been watching the stream the whole time. I haven't had any buffering.
No.
Yeah, I'm the same as well. Yeah, it could be a localized Twitch issue, which happens quite a lot, just based on their servers that they send out to their ingest and outgest servers.
Who knows? Maybe once we get back into the casting afterwards, it should be absolutely fine. So, final pick here for Kynesie. Again, open pick for him. I guess water maps, Portuguese. Let's see it. Yeah, the Portuguese was picked for Kynesie. So, there are the 5 civs for both players. Remember, this is best of 7. This isn't a pairing, but the Portuguese must play versus Japanese, Swedes must play versus Incan. The players can choose to play their civs whenever they want to in their kind of series. The game maps are below, and it's the preparation that the players have had and will take away for about a week, I think, week in total to kind of prepare and get some games going.
And so, can you talk a little bit about how the first game is going to go? Which player, or is it that both players are agreeing on a matchup? Does the higher seed get the second pick? How is it that it works?
Noel?
Players have to agree on the matchup for sure, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
One would assume so.
Correct.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I guess that explains that. So, I mean, what's the expected matchup that we're going to see on game 1? That's probably about the best we could do it. Otherwise, because you can never really tell what's going to happen from there. But I would expect that, on Fraser River, typically a very good Sweden map. So we might see that one out from Haitch. And then, I mean, I don't know if Sweden would be a willing pick into Aztec, though. So perhaps that's maybe it's yeah, I don't know. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So, Castad, how do you feel about the first?
Go.
So the map number 1 is going to be Fraser River, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I can see H forcing something with Sweden there. Just a great Sweden map overall. But I don't know. If I watch his Steve draft, I'm pretty sure he's not gonna Japan here. I don't think he would go Portuguese either. So Otto would be kind of hard to secure DP line if he wants to. So either Spain or Sweden would make sense here.
Yeah, I agree. I think from
Kynesie, we could see. Yeah, I could see him playing Inca or Aztecs there. Maybe he's got an Aztec versus Sweden BO in mind or something like that.
Yeah, I would suspect that he does. I'm curious if Haitch would actually take that matchup though. If like if I was in a tournament setting and it's game 1 and my opponent says if you're going to play Sweden, I'm going to play Aztec, I wouldn't want to click into that matchup. How would you feel about that, Harrison? I mean, you don't know too much about it. Maybe it's I guess there's really not much Dutch in the pool. But is your perception the same as mine that Aztec is quite a favorable matchup against Sweden?
Yeah, I wouldn't know enough, but I did play one game versus an Aztec, and I feel that I played on Mexico, which is a middle map trading route, and I feel that in, say, Fraser River, there is obviously the middle map control, and I feel that you can't really ignore the 4 train posts unless you are, playing like a civ like Sweden, but Mace Olsen's very fast anti-infantry can do pretty well versus the religious building torps. You probably wouldn't go with coyotes at all at any point, but Puma for sieging, maces, you have 2 mace shipments as well, so you can quickly get a mass to counter the Swedish army. Also, the Swedes with their leather cannons, yes, it's a strong unit, but you kind of don't really want to overkill these very, very light range skirmisher units, so it doesn't kind of work in that sense, and Sweden may have to age up, and that kind of gives the Aztec player map control, so you should torps, get some trading post play behind, so that could be it. But then H doesn't have to go Swedes. I actually would expect him to go Ottomans on Fraser River for maybe a Jan Abus mid-map kind of take map control play. I don't think he would go for his traditional Botto FF here. I don't think it's really a map you would see the Callens, the build, 4TC, early fast fortress playstyle. So you're thinking Sweden, Fraser River. I'm thinking either Ottoman or Spain. But it could even be the Japanese, really, because it's a big, wide map as well, and it's a good one for Japan. You can wall up your plateau if you need to hold on for time, and basically we'll just have to find out. It's how these 2 players wants to play it, because they need to agree to a matchup as well, and that's the key point, is they need to agree, and if they don't agree, it's like a quick search blind pick, but I think they did agree in the end.
Wouldn't be surprised then maybe we see a Japanese mirror.
I don't think H would want to take a Japanese mirror though. That's the one thing I would say is I think H is wise enough to respect that Kynesie is a very strong Japan player, and actually in the mirror, it's usually the better player with a civ does win in the end. But when you have 2 different civs, you can kind of play to the tactical advantage that the civ offers. So if a Japan mirror comes up, I think Hazard would decline it unless it's forced, as in like a later game, like game 2, 3, or 4. If he picks Japan first.
That's a fair point. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I suspect it's probably time for you guys to start getting to casting these games.
Yeah.
Got the games ready to go, I'm assuming?
I do. I need to put them into the folder, but guys in the chat, if you please give me 5 minutes to wolf down some food. Tomorrow I'm embarking on a very long cycle, so I've got a nice high carb meal here of pasta, cheese. It's like a bacon and pasta dish. It's really nice. And obviously I can get some food out before the casting starts. And once the casting goes, we are going through the entire series. We're not stopping until the sunshine is rising on the day afterwards, probably. Or it might be
I
just
like to hear it.
or it might be a regular like a 3-hour series. I don't know the length of the series, but given it's Kynesie, we could be in for a roller coaster of a ride. So, Drongo, thank you for dropping by. Lacastet, thank you for joining, and I'll be looking forward to your co-cast. But I'm gonna put you guys on mute for the time being. Give me 5 minutes, and we'll be back at about 7:15, or so. Say 18 GMT. If that's okay for you, Tet.
Yeah,
That's
totally okay for me. I've already eaten anyway, so I'm ready to go whenever you want.
Nice one, good boy. I need to even open up Age of Empires 3 as well. Like there's so much stuff to set up with the stream. I was into the Civ pick, the talk show, and all the webcams. But that was so fun. I enjoyed that. It was good to see Drongo and Nell as well. And obviously Nell's gone off back to work. So yeah, guys, I'll see you in about 15 minutes. I'll put a text somewhere to let you know it would be on the 15:15. So you got 5 minutes. Get some food. Get some drinks, come back, and have a good time. See you later.
See you guys. Yeah, good idea. All right, fellas. Well, good luck with the cast. I'm looking forward to it. The big. God, I'm excited. I'm just gonna sit in the car. I've got to watch this whole cast. The missus are upstairs. She's in bed. I don't have anything else I can watch it on. My computers are like on the ground, so it's like I'm just gonna watch it in the car. See yous. Good luck. Have fun.
Thanks. God, I'm such a lucky boy. I am the only one who can actually watch you eating and bulking.
Oh shit! Yeah. I've got it still on. I've got my I've turned my mic off on Twitch, so after this, but they'll be here like, oh, what's Tet speaking? So I'll come back in 5 minutes, Tet.
All right.
See you in a bit. Oh, they can see this AOM. Oh my god, so annoying this is. There you go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. I have ate many a pasta, I've chowed down a big dish, and I'm very, very soon ready to go. Hope you enjoyed a bit of the Asian mythology music there. And yeah, let's take off the starting soon. Should probably close that so you can see the actual Civ pick. And yes, soon we're going away. I need to copy the games across. I've still got a few things to check on the Discord. What's this? Right, Tet, are you here? Are you ready?
Yeah, I am.
Hooray!
Is there any chance you can turn on the screen share
of course.
as well?
But first of all, I need
Nice.
to copy the games across into a folder. I thought I had a bit more time to do this before the actual thing goes in, but no fear, no sweat. We should be good. Now, of course, I'll give you the Discord as well, so you can get to see a little bit more on time, or in real time compared to the Twitch stream. Right.
Yeah, because I'm having some buffering issues.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I think that's all on Twitch. I've heard people say like on my side, absolutely fine. There's nothing more I can do, nothing less I can do. But I've got no real issues, no drop frames, no drop in bit rates. So that's just a really unfortunate. But hopefully the actual recording of it should be absolutely fine. So if you let's say you want to come back and rewatch the series, it should be looking pretty good in that sense. Probably need to turn on the game soon. I was packing my bag like an hour before this, and actually packed my bag in pretty good speed. But then I got back thinking, right, I've got to set this up, and now I was like, oh, we're doing a webcam stream. I'm like, oh my god, I got to do this and that. But luckily, it wasn't too bad. We managed to find my way around what I had to do pretty quickly. What's going on here? No idea. I'll come back to that later. Right. Okay. Let's turn on. Let's turn on Age of Empires 3. I need to minimize this briefly. Pardon me. And then launch AoE3. Get that window back up for you guys. You can see that in transition. There you go. Right, when the casting will start, as soon as I get the game open. Have patience, young man. Have patience. We're getting this show on the road as fast as possible. Literally just open the game, turn on the scoreboard. I've got the scoreboard set up, and we'll be going straight into game number 1. But I'm fully filled up and I'm fully ready to go. So, in the previous part of the VOD, we were talking about predictions. What was your prediction again, Tep?
Don't think I was there when you guys talked about that.
Oh no, yeah, you weren't. But you can still give us your prediction now.
Yeah, I think Haitch is just gonna win this quite convincingly.
Oh, I believe
the
in
reasoning
Kynesie,
being-
I believe.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Kynesie is a tough one. I experienced that once again in this tournament. But obviously Haitch is not me, and I think he's just on another level compared to anybody else in this tournament. I've played with him a lot, and I know he's really good at dealing with the Kynesie playstyle as well.
Yeah. We saw it the last tournament. Just getting the Age of Empires 3 game capture to warm up. There you go. And right, scoreboard's ready to go. I'm ready to go. You're ready to go. Nightbot needs to be changed because I've got the magnificent Castet. Guys, before we get going, is the volume between me and Tech good? I'd like to get that one done first before we get going. But it should be fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk.
Volume is
more.
good apparently. So yeah, looks pretty decent. Right. Okay. So yes, I've got to set you up in Discord, haven't I? Pardon me. Apologies. That's one other thing I need to do.
No worries.
Share my screen. We're going to be sharing my screen number 1, resolution frame rate 50. Yeah, you can do 30. We'll do 15 frames per second, 720. Can you see that? I think you can.
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Perfect.
So I'm just moving my cursor from the left to the right, to the left, to the right. Okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about
Good.
the frame rate.
Oh, no, it's all right. I'm not worried about it, but... why did I leave... Why did I call it rounds of... Oh, I need to change that. Pardon me, boys. That's annoying. I don't want to go back down all that, scrolling all that each time. Save game.
I had the same issue as well. Just too many games saved in the folders.
Rename AA for no random reason, just so that it appears right at the top for me. Right, load. Recorded games. Where's it gone now? Is it here? Here? Where's it gone? Or do I need to... Why is it down there? Oh, oh my god. Oh, whatever. It would take a while for us to in between games, but that should be all fine. Right, before I just want to check that's set. That's all set. Game, that's set. Nice and slow scroll speed, but I think I have to change each game because that's annoying. Apply sounds. I think we're all set, but I've got my volume mixer in case I need to change it, and I might need to turn it down a little bit, so I will do that there. Guys, also let me know if the game sounds is too loud compared to the voice. I'd rather know quickly so I can change it than just people just kind of amble on it. But I think we'll find I haven't changed too much since our last streams. Right, game number 1 has a Kynesie. Just go back down here. God,
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is gonna annoy me. Maybe I need to close it File Explorer first. That might help. Cool. Right, game number 1. Remember, the first game was on Fraser River. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's see what both players decided to pick, actually. And Sweden versus Japan it is.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the first of the round of 8 Kynesie games. The first of these series is between Kynesie and Haitch, or the old Hazard AoE3. So, looking forward to this. Game number 1 will be on Fraser River, where Kynesie is playing as the Japanese civilization, and he'll be spawning to the northeast of the map, where Haitch will be playing as the Swedish, spawning into the southwest map in the colour red. On the co-casting mic today, we have Lecastet, one of the top players currently on the scene. Hi, Lecastet, how you doing?
Hey, Harrison, what's up? Pleasure to be here, as usual.
Oh, we've got a great series.
2 big boys playing today.
Oh, yeah. So this series is a best of 7 series. However, both players have a very set Civ draft, and the map draft was also done by the players as well. So a very customized series, and hopefully a highly optimized series. And for game number 1, Open was a free Civ pick for both players to agree a matchup. And I find the Japanese-Swedish matchup here a bit of an interesting one here. I suppose Japan-Sweden, I think, is a somewhat balanced matchup, slightly Swedish favoured. Kastek, can you tell me a bit more about this matchup?
Yeah, definitely a matchup we've seen a lot in this tournament. Usually on Pampa Sierras, which was the most common map for this matchup during group stages and run of 16. I personally believe that this matchup is a bit more Sweden favored, but Jap have really good tools to actually outplay with Yumi Yawasami, Flaming Arrows as well to deal with artillery and things like that.
Yeah, I think on this map, I'm going to have to say it's pretty balanced. The mines are very predictably placed where they would be, so it's quite easy to raid the mines. However, the hunts are also in the valleys, but there's a lot of hunts to go around. This is a great map for Japan to shrine boom on. The map's very wide, very open. Also, a nice defensive kind of plateau can allow the Japan player to wall up if needs be to buy some time. The first deviation to more normal play we see is the Swedish player going for the open trading post, but Kynesie has got his Orchard Ritual caught far from the town centre, and there's a nuclear clubman on it. This is game changing.
Pretty cool. I don't think so.
Kynessie's asking for mercy. He's asking for mercy. It's not going to happen. He's got to throw it down in the middle of the map. This is so painful to see. And I guess it punishes the Japan player for being overzealous with his scouting, and Haitch just taking the tactical advantage straight away, basically denying 5k food to the Japanese player. Wow, what a start! What a start!
This is massive. So Japan has to send orchards so much sooner than what you want to do, which is just gonna slow him down around 8 or 9 minutes in game time.
To be fair, in Hazard's sense or situation, I don't really know why there's an orchard ritual on the other side of the river from Kynesie. I could understand if the ritual was scouting this northern trading post, northern mines, maybe this northern TP and the hunts nearby it. But to be on H's side of the map, it was very greedy and has been rightfully punished. It's quite often if you get quite often if you get the cherry orchard punished mid map, you can kind of get it home if it's just explorer. But that Nuka caught H by completely surprise there.
Yeah, right. It's usually fine to do what Kynesie did with the orchard and just scouting versus a sieve that only have one explorer in each one. But as soon as you see that H picked a native warrior treasure, then you should immediately send this orchard back home. And well, Kynesie just didn't react, so he got punished really hard for that.
With EGC in the chat saying, the forward berries for scouting purposes can't be destroyed, can't be deleted. This is like full-on OP play. And let's see how much line of sight this provides. Oh, wow, look at that. And almost 2 tiles away from the cherry orchard. So that's a really large piece of scouting information. Obviously, joking. That's not a lot. It's probably like the same amount of line of sight as a shrine gives. And Haitch with his nuclear clubman already sieging down the first shrine. So kind of getting on top of everywhere that Kynesie wants to be. Quite interesting from Kynesie rotating his shrine just to try and keep it as close to the town centre as possible and trying to reach out to the Elks as far as possible. So conscious decision there. Might be too far from the town centre to safely be protected underneath the town centre fire. But to see if that plays a part in this game as we move forward. Portuguese Consulate opening for Kynesie, and his first card here was Heavenly Kami, Market in Transition. Let's have a look at what Sweden's opening was. His first card, obviously, the 3 villagers. And let's have a quick look at the Swedish player's deck. Right, so we see Blue Brews, we see Engelberg Ironworks, we see all the standard cards. Having both the 3 Hussars and 8 Pikes versus Japan. Not too sure you need both of those. But in the 4th phase, we had the Svay Lifeguards, Infinite Mamelukes, also 16 Corollians. What do you think of this deck, the Castet?
Yeah, quite industrial focus, but at the same time, he just has everything he needs in each 2, in each 3. 8 Pikes and 3 Huss is just in case he's under a lot of, for example, like Torrigate opening pressure. But yeah, 16 Carolians just being the X factor kinda in this Sweden deck in each 4. But yeah, pretty normal deck overall, I'd say.
Well, let's have a quick look at from the Japanese point of view. His first card there was 600 coin straight away, sending another 600 coin behind it. This is a very non-standard opening. He has his shrines on food. This looks to be the fastest of fast fortresses I've ever seen. And checking his deck, he's got the Fraser FF name.
Phaser FF. It's more like Gacha FF actually. It's the Gacha build, 600 coin with 120 or 130 pulp shrines. I don't remember exactly the amount, but one of the fastest way for Japan to reach 3.
We see H torping quite a lot of his mines already, getting just the 2 torps. But do you notice from H how he's spreading out his torps very much? He's prioritizing walking from one mine to another instead of thinking, oh, hang a minute, it's really efficient for me to stay on the same mine and build fort around it. He's actually, this forces the Japan player to siege 2 and then move on to the next place. And once they move on to another mine site, H could actually sneak back in to drop another torp behind it quite safely. So if you look on the southern side, this mine's got 2, this mine's got 1. There's going to be a 1 or 2 on this forward silver mine. He's got 2 on both his mines in base. He's got 1 on the far left. He's got 1 or 2 torps maximum everywhere currently, and that's a very considerate choice there from H. And I really like it. It's like a really smart playstyle. And actually, I think what Haitch wants to do now is actually murder all these. If he can murder all these hunts on this side underneath the top, just to deny all those extra potential shrine positions, that could be so strong there from Haitch.
Yeah, that's true. Haitch going quite heavy on units right now, just training Carolians to seek shrines, which is fine, but sending leather cannons, usually you want to send that if Japan is going Yumi and tries to, deny your Karens from sieging shrines, and then you get the leather cannons to just push these Yumi back. But here, Kynesie didn't make any units, so I'm not too sure about the value these leather cannons will get.
And that's the thing, you're right in that sense, that it's usually you'd send a shipment in a defensive manner. These guys, they have 40 siege damage versus infantry with a ×3, but that's their siege damage versus buildings. They're very poor at taking down buildings, and I think maybe H wants them to cover his infantry while they're sieging shrines, but he's trying to contest the map by sieging the buildings. They're not really putting on too much offensive pressure and helping achieve the shrine killing any faster. Meanwhile, Kynesie, he's nearly up. He's literally up now at 7 minutes and 40 seconds. That is really fast. He has the XP from the Shogunate, and he's sending 2 Flaming Arrows straight away. But the thing with the Shogunate to AoE3, you don't actually get that much experience points from it. So the kind of the tempo he gets from this FF, I'm not too sure it's going to be enough. He's only got this one shipment in queue. He's so close to sending the second one, so be likely 2 Flaming Arrows back to back. But do you think it's going to be enough to...
Kind of hard to say. We see him getting a batch of 3 Ashes actually, and which is the direct consequence of his build order, which is just super low eco. He's got Kami, but 110 pop of Shrine, and I know his game plan is basically try to force Sweden to stage 3 and do damage with Flaming Arrows, which is when Sweden is kind of weak to them. And gonna get a good catch actually here. Gonna kill a few Carolines, but turbo mode just to get away from there.
Yeah, that's a really nice bit of micro there from H, realising he's forced the defensive minutes, forced the Flaming Arrows to be sent at home. He sees the Shogunate, so he knows there's Daimyo out in the field where that unit can receive shipments, and that's where ideally those 2 Flaming Arrows would have wanted to be, on the forward side of this map, sieging down the torps and really making the most of this artillery, but forcing these slow artillery pieces to go home. And meanwhile, the Carolinians just pack up their stuff, go into a bit of a sprint mode, run away from the Japanese infantry, and now that the Portuguese Ordnance Bestieros, the Minutemen, and the Flaming Arrows are trying to link up with the forward positions of Daimyo and a couple of Ashes, in come the Carolinians for another raid, and I feel like Haitch is going to start to try and run Kynesie around, or at least get a lot of idle time at base, and Kynesie hasn't gone for a high eco build. He really needs these villagers working.
Yeah, right. Kynesie on double racks, but he can barely afford batches of 5 Ashik Arrows, and he sends Flaming Arrows once again, which is extremely aggressive, but I'm kind of concerned about his abilities to defend these Flaming Arrows, because he doesn't have that much infantry to cover them.
So he's sent the 2 Flaming Arrows twice, pushing forward with the Bestieros, the 13 Ashik Arrows. I'm a bit surprised he went for the Fortress Age crossbow shipment instead of maybe transitioning over to the Japanese consulate and getting some maybe clubmen out to help with the torps. You can have a couple of these clubs running around sieging, torps or staying down, or Conchang and Bushis for the fast-moving archer-style units. But I suppose they don't have the multipliers as the Karelians. And Kynesie is basically relying on this push going to work. Look at his deck. He does have the 8 Ashik Arrows in his deck if he wants to send another military shipment to this forward position. Maybe 5 Nagis could also work, but outcome 2 Colferns here from Haitch. He's also sending 2 Falcons behind. This is going to be tough for Kynesie.
Yeah, of course. Has a good great artillery micro usually as well, and behind that Kynesie has to send
out comes the Falconets. The Daimyo
lost...
Masamune is on top of the Falconet straight away, not doing enough damage though. It seems the Carolinians turn into Farness. Maybe one of the Falconets will go down. Minutemen being called. Colferin still firing on the Flaming Arrows. Only 2 remaining. 1 bit picked off. Split fire there. All the Flaming Arrows are down. 1 Falconet still standing. Daimyo has to run for it. Triple kill the Falconet then. There's still Minutemen and Carolians here. This is a very good hold here from H. Kynesie calls the GG. And that's a quick opening, sharp game for game number 1. H taking this early series 1-0.
Yeah, really solid defense. This Japanese push was looking quite scary for a while. Haitch still didn't have veteran Carolians, but yeah, just preemptively dropping an artillery foundry, training corps as soon as possible, shipping two falconets as soon as possible as well, and Kynesie committing super hard to this push. A bit of a repeat of what he did versus me, but yeah, here just committed a bit harder and got punished for that.
I think that's just some good map awareness from Haitch there. I wasn't, like, for example, I see the map, but even I wasn't thinking, oh, I better check if Haitch has got an artillery foundry being dropped right now at home. He's scouted the Shogunate. He's thinking, right, Shogunate, because it's Daimyo, gives extra experience points. It gives tempo and advantage to the Japan player. He's aged really fast, so he's sacrificed eco. He wants to be pushing out, and what's the best way to put pressure on is artillery pieces. So he's thinking, right, just need 2 culverins. I have enough Carolians to defend the infantry. Town centre Minutemen. Might lose a couple of Torps and Vils, but that wouldn't matter in the long game. And yeah, just really smart thinking, dropping down the artillery foundry. Because how often do you see Swedish players dropping down 2 Raxes, 3 Raxes, investing all their resources into Carolians, and then let's say the 4 Flaming Arrows turn up uncontested, then Kynesie cleans up underneath Haitch's base, and then it gets quite tough quite quickly all of a sudden for Haitch. But the preemptive culverins there, a game-winning move, it has to be said.
Yeah, quite a quick game. Usually we see this matchup going on for a bit longer. And
look at the military population graph. That's crazy. As soon as Kynesie ages up, he just spamming units as fast as possible with the Minutemen, the Consulate, the training batches, the shipments, moves forward. But Haitch, he's just trained a couple units in age 2, and then as soon as he gets to the 3rd age, just 1 shipment, 2 culverins, Minutemen, clean up, easy peasy. And
yeah, just a lot of units pop.
And that's the thing, Fraser River is a big map. It took a while for the Japan army to actually cross the map, and I think because of the defensive Karelian raiding, actually also really, really helped Haitch's game there. And look at the eco difference as well. We've got to consider this is a low eco build from Japan, and you can see the diverging lines here at the end just really shows the story of that game. Right, let's move on.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's move on to game number 2. I will quickly just check the Discord because of the current Twitch issues at the moment to see if anything's going on.
Yeah, hopefully Twitch will be able to fix their issues before the end of this series.
Let's have a quick look at the Civ draft. So obviously the game number 1. Oh, I'll tell you what I can do. Yes, I can right click. So this is going to be a win for Sweden. And well, it's a loss for Japan, but Japan can still be used again. So yeah, Haitch has won the series 1-0, and he's got the remaining 4 civs, the Japanese, the Ottomans, the Spanish, and the Portuguese available to take in the future games.
Yeah, so even though Kynesie lost that game 1, he got Sweden out of the way, and he can still play Japanese, which is arguably one of his top 3 civs. So yeah, of course, losing first game is not the best case scenario for him, but it's not the end of the world either. He will be able to counterpick for game 2 as well.
Oh yeah, of course. So obviously, Kynesie will be able to pick the map, and his map pool. He could probably pick one of Haz's maps as well, but he can pick either Dhaka, Manchuria, or Saguenay. Haitch will then have to pick his civ on that map, and all these are water maps themselves. I mean, Kynesie can then counterpick. So the series is very favoured to be closely fought contests with the ability to counterpick. Right, let's continue. Sure. Right, we're going to round of 8. Go down all these recorded games. But I'll remember to change you guys from the overlay. Game number 2. Let's do it. Right, so the map here is going to be Manchuria, and the civ matchup is going to be Haitch winning the last game, of course. So he's chosen to play as the Japanese on Manchuria. Kynesie counterpicking with the Haudenosaunee, and looks like that forward Discover Age Traveler is once again going to be moving to the coastline, dropping a dock as we see normally standard. So water Haudenosaunee. What do you think Haitch will do from this point of view? Because I haven't actually seen too much of Japanese gameplay here from Haitch ever, really. I've never really thought of Haitch to be a Japan player.
And yet it's one of his strongest civ. I'd say he's been playing a lot of Japanese in the past. He's playing them in tournaments as well. But yeah, curious to see what he does here, because I believe Horino Shoni is really strong on this map, and it's also really good versus Japan, especially with this dog start meta and being able to edge with 3 wheels, and you can basically do what you were doing on EP, but you have just stronger eco. Your rush is stronger as well, and your follow up is stronger as well.
So interesting things early to note. We do see Japan player dropping 2 shrines already. No consulate thrown in base. We did see the Haudenosaunee player beating the Japan explorer to the 2 yaks down to the south, or the relative south of the map, and to kind of the northwest, relative north. Looks like Haitch managed to pick up those 2 yaks, and they've made their way safely back. So currently both players here, 3 yaks to Kynesie. If we look at Haitch, he's up to 5. So the yak war slightly in favour of Haitch, and there's the 6th as well. There's a couple more on the map. There's one to the far north, the one to the south has been picked up, and there's actually still one to the southern side of Haitch's base. So we could even look at a 7-4. There's one over. There should be an even number. This odd number of yaks is really infuriating me. Surely there's going to be 12, or maybe I'm just maybe there is just an odd number. Oh well.
I think you're right.
So there's no, that's of course yeah, he's got 7, and there's the 8th up there, so it'll be 12 in total. He managed to pick up the one on the southern side. Okay, cool. Right, there's 12 yaks on the map, but still winning that 8-4 is huge. And if let's say Haitch wants to go for the Chishoga Shrine, and if he does pick up this final yak, it probably will be going to Kynesie now, because he's taking this big wood treasure. All those 8 yaks on the Chishoga Shrine is a very strong economic bonus on the age up. So looking to see what he does there. Both players here, Haitch taking an 80 wood treasure to the north. Kynesie is nearby as well, also taking himself a 75 wood treasure. Both players be very pleased with their openings and treasures. 3 fishing boats coming in here for the Japanese player, which is, I guess, is to be expected because it's a good opening card for Japan. But you know the Haudenosaunee is on water. You know they can make a canoe. They can make 1 canoe for 100 woods and destroy your entire fishing operation.
This makes me. I mean, yeah, this makes me think that Hazard is gonna go for some anti-water play early-ish too. There's no reason to send 3 boats versus Hero if you don't plan to contest water early H2, like I don't know, maybe transition dock or something like that, because otherwise these 3 boats, you're just gonna lose them to 1 canoe, and it's basically a wasted card.
So he's aged up the Chishoga Shrine. I was just thinking for a second he may want to go for the Torii Gates just to get that 1 samurai out on the map early on to put pressure on the dock from the land, send the 2 Funes to put pressure on from the sea, so the Funes will beat any canoes coming out to kill the kind of samurai, but then the samurai will keep killing the docks while the Funes can just stay away from the anti-ship fire. But it looks like he's going to go for the eco age up here. The Chishoga Shrine's got so many yaks available. Another big juicy hunt right next to his base. He's got a very defensive hunt near the coastline, which may get sieged down later on. And I don't know. I feel this opening is just very. It feels like a very standard opening here from Haitch. But that's the thing. He's gone Sugar Shrine, but no Portuguese consulates. Does that give you any further insight with the early opening of the shrines into the boats instead of going, let's say, Kami in Portuguese consulate?
To be fair, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Toshogu Shrine just seems good, just because he's got the yaks, right? It's gonna buff his eco by quite a bit, and okay, 23 villager for Kynesie. Can you check the fishing boats count?
He's up to 6 fishing boats. He's got 16 villagers. He's trained a couple more fishing boats in transition.
Right.
He's aged up. He's making 1 canoe now to kill those 3 boats. And the war hut's going mid-map.
He fast aged for sure. Here.
Of course.
16 deals, and he's up at 4 minutes. So
yeah.
Interesting. Could mean that Kynesie has no intention to go for the Fortress Age anytime soon. And yeah, training one canoe, gonna start harassing these Japanese fishing boats as we mentioned.
So this is interesting. He's eating his yak very early. He's trying to get as many resources as possible, sending the all crates resources, which gives him some coin crates. But if he's thinking of staying age 2 in that sense, because he's already aged up with the messenger, where would the coin be used? Would it be like the fishing upgrades in the dock? I don't think we'll see a market anytime soon. It's let's see what he's got planned.
Fishing upgrades, market for sure. You get hunting dogs, you can get the wood upgrade as well. But you could also spend that on potentially privateers if you need them. But yeah, here I don't think he should go for them. Although Typhoons for Japanese player,
and there is only one dock as well, so it's quite a fragile position, and it just gives Kynesie the option to react if he wants to. So he does have the 3 privateers, which is an incredibly strong shipment, and might be a bit overkill as well. So actually, Haitch can pick up a couple of fishing boats, force the idle.
He doesn't need privateers for sure. He's got 6 boats in the dock. He's got some canoes. He's training some, and yeah, just 100 damage from the dock should be enough with the canoes to just push these Typhoons back.
Kynesie, meanwhile, taking the 2 northern TPs, researching stagecoach behind us. 3rd canoe about to pop out. Villagers, fishing boats still in the dock firing. And remember, these boats have got nowhere to retreat to. That boat is on 15 HP. The canoes are very likely to pursue that and keep up. Here come the batch of clubmen and Yumi archers. So Hazard and bases dropped down a Japan consulate and a barracks at the same time. So early investment into units. A couple of Aenas coming out behind. They probably want to focus on the Yumi archers, but I think the Yumias will defeat the Aenas in this combat here. One dock's very well. One fune's gone. The other fune's on 15 HP, and actually there's no real pressure on these fishing boats. They can just get back out and carry on. And if one dock goes down, I think Kynesie can drop another one, and that's what he's doing right now to the south side of the map, which is really smart, I think.
Oh, he's going stagecoach. That's why he's just got nothing. He used the crates to like make a few canoes and get TPs, but first of all, I think he should really chase these 15 HP Fune. He could have killed it already because he still got leftovers canoe, and now we see Haitch dropping a duck on his own. And
I think he's off to do that right now. He's going to move that canoe right to the other side of the map just to pick off the remaining fishing boats because he's sieging the shrine from distance. Oh, no, actually, that Fune will actually get up to full HP then if Kynesie is not conscious of this one boat still surviving. I think Kynesie just assumed that he's cleared the entire water and he's safe to build behind. But he's training a second canoe here, so I guess he still assumes, but probably doesn't realise it's only on 15 HP for the time being.
Yeah, and now Haitch at the same time is just going for the tactic you usually do versus water, right? So you contest water, and then when your opponent is reacting, you just go on the land, and that's what he's doing right now, but sieging the freshly stagecoached TP.
Look at this Tashoga Shrine with the 7 yaks on it. That's so strong. 1.33 wood per second. That is essentially the distributism card from Age 1, just that extra economy, and that's not considering all the other 6 shrines he has on the land at the moment before he builds any more. So really nice opening. Yumi Archers versus the Aenas should be a decent exchange there for the Yumi Archers, although in prolonged combat, actually the Aenas should come on top. They have double rate the fire, 10 more HP, same range resist. Is that a unit matchup I'm not familiar with?
Kite.
Yeah.
With Yumi's, but yeah, Kynesie is just gonna follow this Fune now and gonna kill it. And is there something in Haz's dock? Is he training fishing boats or something?
He's got that one fishing boat from that 3 fishing boat shipment in Age 1, and I don't really think that Haitch is too busy or too invested into producing more fishing boats. And this is just a bit of a distraction. I think the dock as well is prompting Kynesie maybe to train a couple more canoes than he has to. He's already gone for the 4, but he's getting gill nets now. And I think even Kynesie realises there's only one fishing boat in the dock because of only the 15 siege that dock put onto the canoes. So Kynesie's quite happy. And still though, 2 TPs to 1. Haitch looks like he's about to pick this up, but the Aenas should be able to come in, and yeah, Haitch is going to get out of the way. Notice how he runs away instead of poofs because he realises actually that's his safest way to get away from units already about to fire. But the Kanya Horseman shipment coming in from Kynesie, as many Yumi here, a couple clubs. This is looking tough here.
Yeah, this is gonna get really scary for Haitch there. Probably has to sack the clubs and try to save as many Yumis as possible and retreat under his stun center, where Cav Bathing is just gonna be
Oh,
much more of a
huge cav
problem.
batch. Huge cav batch. We've got one clubman from the concha, but it should be about 5 Nagis here from the stable, and there's no anti-cav whatsoever.
No,
the Kynesie think they're on a winner here on the Yumi Archers. Hey, look at me. I've got no units here, has the same, but bam, there's the 5 Nagis.
Boom.
And what has Kynesie got at the moment? He's got no anti-cav. The Tomahawks were away sieging. I don't think he's actually got any Tomahawks, and I just see +10s going everywhere. These ANs just do not have enough to take down his very tanky Lancer-style cavalry units. 300 HP, 30 range resist in the colonial age is so much HP, and 45 damage versus these AN is an easy 3-hit kill. And yeah, he's just trying to sack and trying to kind of kite, but yeah, another batch of 2 ANs there, just not really once. And what a lovely catch there.
That's gonna be an amazing trade for Japan for sure. He's gonna clean most of these hyenas, and yeah, in the back of it, just securing one of the TPs. Kynesie didn't boom that much on water just yet. He's now trying to pump some fishing boats, but
I love how Kynesie sends in the 6 Tomahawks and trying to produce Tomahawks on both war huts. It was proper panicking from the Nagis, but unfortunately most of the ANs have already gone and paid the price, and that was one of the most efficient uses of cavalry in Age 2 from Japan I've seen in a long time. Gets some more experience points from the macaques, gets a 65 coin treasure, and now Haitch's Shrine Pop is at 110. He's sending 4 villagers again for the second time. The market techs are starting to roll in. Basically got all the market techs bar Imperial Bureaucracy. Daimyo coming in as another card. Haitch is happy to stay H2 here. Nagi Yumi is the composition, and how does Haudenosaunee really deal with this? I feel they have to age up at this point, and can he hold on to the trading line if he needs to do that himself?
I think Hero can play H2. Well, he can't really age because he already used the fast age option, so aging would just...
of course. So he's basically committed stage 2, and here comes a mainly Tomahawk heavy army. No upgrades yet on these units whatsoever. Does not have conservative tactics in his deck as well. Infantry attack, infantry HP. Kynesie's going straight in onto the Yumi Mice, forcing Yumi to stand still, but a bit micro there from Haitch is focusing down onto the Nagis and onto the Tomahawks and trying to focus his anti-cavalry infantry down as fast as possible before Nagis actually commit. Another big batch of Kanyas here, actually. Thomas will close into hand combat, but I just think there's enough Japan stuff here. The trade post is acting as a nice block as well, and there's not too many Tomahawks here, but here...
Damn, so Kynesie got the counter composition, but Haza is just out microing so hard right now. Beautiful maneuvering around with the Nagis, just keeping these Tomahawks walking around, not doing really much damage, and he's just gonna clean up.
Big batch of Tomahawks just there, 6 Tomahawks on the field, another 3 Kanyas there, but Haitch himself is getting another 3 Kanyas from the stable. He does have the Daimyo out in the field, so yes, he cancelled that 4-vil batch to send Daimyo, now sending 4 vils behind this. Currently 10 Nagis on the field, 8 Yumi Archers. He's spending the export as it comes in at the moment, and Kynesie, well, he's got 45 vils though. The eco's actually starting to take off. He does have 10 fishing boats in the water with gill nets, so a nice supplementary side eco. Villagers are still gathering, 3 Kanya horsemen.
Wait, infantry HP? He doesn't have conservative tactics in deck?
No conservative tactics. So yeah,
that's a big feels bad.
Yeah,
if you play H2 hero, you really want that card.
It's like the H2 infantry combat card. It's like combat card for the AOs and Tomahawks.
10% HP and attack.
It's huge as well. So shame that card's not in. Having to fight underneath the 2 defensive war huts should provide support in fire, especially these 2 buildings having multipliers versus the Nagi as well. So that's quite nice. But I think Haitch is seeing, okay, I've got a decisive advantage on the land. I don't really want to push underneath 2 war huts and risk units popping onto my military. Is he starting to mass? Well, when I say starting to age, but he's still massing quite a lot at the moment. Another batch of Ashies, got 3 batches of Nagis, sends in Cherry Orchards, because he's got one Cherry Orchard looking rather low on the food count, but there's no indication to age up. He's just massing units continuously. He's obviously got the Daimyo to offer the extra military buffs as it does. Looking at his deck, he has both the Yumi and Ashi attack cards in H2, so he can upgrade his army composition. Does have the Japan consulate in at the moment, so his units are naturally strong as it is. and the score lead is in H's favour for the time being.
Yeah, I think both these players' economies are similar at this point. Has us on 2 TP Stagecoach plus 44 VLs and the shrines and market upgrades, and Kynesie is on 1 TP plus 52 VLs overall. He's sending Fish Market now, so his Water Eco definitely gonna get really strong now. But does he have Gale Nets and long lines maybe? On his
No,
fishing
it
boats?
doesn't have long lines yet. Looking to age at the moment, he's floating a lot of food and coin. Obviously, you need a lot of wood to train Canyons and Tomahawks if you're playing Age 2 as the Haunashone. So we'll have to see what he wants to play on from here. But Haitch is in a really nice position, and the push is coming in. Is Kynesie ready for it? He's floating a lot of resources. But he just
can't hold that.
he just caused the early GG. I think there's a chance there for Kynesie. I think there was an opportunity.
He's got a lot of resources. He's on 3 Wahats, right? So maybe if he buys a bit of food and
yeah, he got the Wahat near coast as well.
this one on the coast, a bit far from the action, but yeah, I mean, I really think you can play full Hero H2 in this situation if you have the full water. But you obviously need conservative tactics, and you also need wardens at the right time, and yeah.
If we look at the timeline here for the ceremonial guardian dance in seconds, flat, no dancing whatsoever, not fireplace, ceremony place. What's it called? Festive ceremony? Community Plaza.
Ceremony Plaza.
Community Plaza, yes.
Community Plaza.
Community Plaza. That's the one. If we're being politically correct, I'm still going to call it the fire pit because that's what we all know and love. Military population though, given that you had lots more military population, quite a lot of that was crossing the map at the same time. Kynesie didn't take the most terrible trade there, given their starting military positions, but yeah, some strong micro there from H, basically protecting his Naggies away from all those Tomahawks in melee. They would have cut those cavalry down very quickly, and the Canyons were pinning the Yumi archers down. So you could say that Kynesie essentially had the counter composition there, but H still managed to pull that ahead. But at the end, the military populations, not even close. 67 military population versus 30. Kynesie was trapped between taking a fight he didn't want to fight and age up, or just cancel any ideas to age up and try to buy all that wood from the coin, and just it's kind of awkward because you can't spend that coin in H2 as the Haunashone, and that's probably why Kynesie was floating as resources, because otherwise what's the point of gathering from the wells if they can't really be used in the second age?
Yeah, and I mean, slowly but surely you get to the point where the fish is just gonna run off. We see Kynesie got boats on whales, but they are useless in H2. So yeah, I think he just took a gamble. The gamble being, if Japan tries to age and Hero ages at the same time, then Hero would actually be in a decent position. But yeah, it just has a forcing the issue in H2, and I think it's just a build order loss for Kynesie, really going for the stagecoach, but going for the 800 resources trades first. I think 600 would have been more accurate in this situation, and yeah, just the stagecoach being too greedy overall.
So H currently leading the series 2-0, having won with the Japanese and the Swedish now already. His remaining civilizations he can choose to play in his best of 7 is the Ottomans, the Spanish, and the Portuguese. Kynesie, as he lost the last game as well, he gets to pick the next map. Manchuria's gone, so he can either pick Saguenay or Dhaka. Let's see what we're going to get for game number 3, and let us go.
Yeah, we should get into deep Kynesie territory there. Dhaka, Saguenay, and Dhaka it's going to be.
Third game, H is playing as the Ottoman Empire civilization, shall I say, spawning into the eastern map in the colour red. Kynesie, well, he needs to use it at some point, and he feels that 2-0 down, he needs to get some sort of momentum on his side. He's putting out the main squeeze, he's playing the Portuguese, and he's dropping down an early market here for the Portuguese civilization.
Oh, wow.
It has to be said, though, this map is high in coin treasures, so I think Kynessie's got an idea. He's done his map analysis. He knows what treasures are likely to spawn, and there's actually a 65 coin treasure by former Cax he could use. But I suppose this will delay his Age 1 trading post as well. This should be a rehost here from Kynesie. He's only got elephants. Ree's been offered.
Wow, and look
why
look at around Kynesie's DC. Like his wood line is terrible as well. It's like there's a massive gap.
Well, he has
He's
defensive.
got, like,
he has
10
defensive
trees.
trees. It's not the end of the world. He has a town centre, which I'm expecting him to either drop in a very defensive position or right on the coast to secure as much water as possible. But I'm very surprised, like Kynesie declining the invitation for a rehost, because this is a situation where you would go for a rehost, and players are aware that they can rehost for map balance issues, and Haitch is very kind to say, hey, this is option on the table for you. But the other thing as well is that having this extra hunt for Portuguese, you might not need it because you're going water, but when you start to kind of transition more into the land, it's just a very nice, safe way, very fast, efficient place to get those resources. The elephants are not the easiest to herd in the first age, and looking around his base, yes, this hunt might walk in, but there should be another hunt here before he moves on. And the tree line, both players obviously have this kind of barren semicircle of trees, which is absolutely fine, but also, Haitch, not gathering all these wood crates, is he thinking of going for a spice trade build order? Not spice trade, Silk Road, and he is. Looks like though he didn't get the he left his food crate and he didn't perfectly micro to get the full
he didn't
extra
get the
wood.
house either. Just because you got a 5 population space.
Well, you don't
treasure.
need to. I've played with the Silk Road build, and the idea is that after sending Silk Road, you should be able to get your second trading post in the first age and skip the mosque. And then the thing is with Silk Road as well. Like, you could age up with 500 food. That's then is now worth 625. You could then send 700 coin. Well, that there is worth now 800 and something. A lot. 875. No, again, might be 175. Anyway, a lot. And you can go for one of the fastest, FFs there is into Callan's The Build. But he's going for this wood trade, it looks like. So he wants to trade his the food into the wood, possibly go for water, drop down triple dock, boat boom from then. So maybe not an FF agenda as I initially assumed with this card, but it gives Haitch the flexibility to kind of bounce off this Age 1 shipment of the food trade, or send these mightily strong Age 2 crate cards and really fun as eco. And you've got to remember, now his 1k wood is 1.25k wood, his 1k coin is 1.25k coin. That's a huge amount of resources to send in the form of crates. And I think Silk Road is a very strong opening for the Ottomans, because the 3 villages are nice, but in the early game, that extra crate eco really is a little bit more prevalent.
Right. Can you check, has Haitch age up? What is he aging up with?
Good question. He's aging up with the Philosopher's Prince, so 625 food is the age up of choice.
Okay, so he's definitely going for the wood trade there.
Yeah.
I thought this could be like a really fast tower FF, with 2 TPs that you get super early, but yeah, no, this is definitely looking for the wood trade there.
Which is
He's
interesting.
gonna get so much
Yeah.
wood with the big crates of food plus what he's gathering right now. He's gonna get like 1.5k wood total.
Well,
I'd say.
You'll probably have about 1.5k food, realistically, or at least 1.3, 1.4, and then that will come to be about 1.8 to 2k worth of wood. That's so much wood to spend, and then his next shipment is nearly ready, so he could send schooners afterwards, or he's going to send the coin. Yeah, interesting. I wonder what the coin's there for, because I know he wants to try and age up maybe afterwards, but I feel that interesting about that.
Maybe he's gonna send forward villagers to build a military building or something like that. He's gonna get so much wood. He can go stagecoach. He can go third TP. He can go buildings. He can go docks. He can do anything at the same time. Really, mosque as well.
I'd laugh if Haitch went like double artillery foundress Abus grenadier combo. That would
1900.
And that there, he spent some wood instantaneously on double dock. There's the third trading post. Mosque going down probably will be a house as well. 1 barracks.
Holy moly.
And all these buildings will give more experience points as well. So he's now sending obviously the 700 coin.
Wait, double dock? Is he gonna train wall ships there? By the way, what is Kynesie doing? He's not going
Fishing
water at all.
boats. No, he's 700 coin first card. But the thing is, obviously that Age 1 market and delayed trading post. He went to trading post in transition, pardon me. And so yeah, this is just kind of drifted away from that 10-10 build, and I think Kynesie is fearing the Ottoman FF and wants to play a slightly different playstyle here. Let's look at Kynesie's deck. He does have a tawny deck. It's called Tor, Schooners, Team Coastal Defences. No advanced dock here. No unit shipments in Age 2, but have the 2 caravels. Frigate, it makes an appearance, but for Kynesie standards, that's quite a lot of military shipments in the 3rd age.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as you mentioned, he's probably really scared of the Ottoman fast fortress, but Haitch though, sending 2 galleys, training 2 galleys, he's going for a massive anti-water push, which is an insane timing actually. 4 galleys at under 6 minutes, but surprise, just Kynesie has 0 water eco. So
Kynesie just pulling out the 200 IQ play here of the fake water boom. To be fair, let's look at Haitch's scouting pattern. Scouted nothing. Okay, he scouted the market actually. Out of all things, no, he wouldn't scout. No, he would have scouted because he's picked up the coin treasure, so that scouts everything around it at that point. And he's thinking, He's thinking, I'm not being shot by the town centre. I don't see any fishing boats. Oh no!
Yeah,
no!
This is just over. This is just over. I mean, Kynesie would never go on water with that. I mean, for at least a good 10 or 15 minutes until he can get calls and things like that. But what does Otto do from there? Potts is gonna get to Age 3. Otto is just never gonna reach Fortress anytime soon after this investment, and
it's not like the Portuguese need spice trade in their deck, so he's got rendering plants like really feigning this water play. The Bacti temples on the north, so that's your berry gathering upgrade to stay in base on the berries. Got 2 coin mines, lots of hunt as well. These guys on hunting dogs could get steel traps at some point in the future. Sending frigate as card number 1 into the middle pond. Town centre on top of these trading posts, so the frigate will deny any water crossing with long range. Take off the 2 trading posts. This is map control play from Kynesie, and he's playing very smartly so far.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, screw water. I mean, I don't need it if I can get your training post for free as well, and get the tech advantage with the Fortress Age.
The other thing to notice, I wanted to kind of point out from Haitch, is he sent that 700 coin first, but I'm not really seeing that return on investment from the coin. He's got quite a lot of coin floating, so he used some of that coin to train the galleys, remember, and like 5, 6, 8 Janissaries, but apart from that, the coin's still there. He sends in some more coin at the moment, and that'd be more than enough to age up behind. He's just... This age up play from Haitch is in so slow, he's going to lose his train post. Also, the galleys are now better off, well, fishing than doing nothing, but I suppose they are guarding, the resources and the choke across the southern part of the crossing. But this is certainly not an ideal position for Haitch. Even having the stagecoach on food, remember the Silk Road increases the yield from the trading post. So obviously, Haitch is on at 83 food, and Kynesie, his is on 66, so a big increase. Early 2 organs as ship number 2. Couple castles just focusing away the Jans. Bit of micro there from Kynesie, keeping out the range. And the frigate unanswered for the time being. Haitch is starting to press that age up button now. He does have villagers on coin, so he will be aging up. But I don't think he can age up the Admiral in the Ocean Sea.
Nah, he has to age fast.
And he is. Exile Prince is the one chosen.
He's just getting so much time to get rid of these strength posts, and well, now he's on 3TC, and Otto with no water and with no stagecoach, he's suddenly a sieve with 15 deals. So wonder how Otto comes back from there.
Oh, I love how you say, like, after all this amazing wood play, the galleys, it's just a sieve with 17 bills.
Oh, it's actually yeah. I mean, this build order from Haitch was actually super interesting, and probably would have done really well versus standard port water things. But but here it's just
You smart
building,
cookie.
and yeah.
Oh,
Building
I
stuff for 3
tell you what
minutes
as well, and
being
like
useless.
even deeper mind games. Kynesie was like, oh, I don't need to rehost the map because I have the fish to fish from. That just reinforces H's motive of, okay, he's going to go water, so I'll place my standard anti-water. Well, Kynesie was thinking, actually, I wish I actually had that hunt on my base. That would really help my land agenda. 2 organ guns going across the pond in the frigate. H has no real reply to this. Has to give up his barracks. H is behind, training a culverin from an artillery foundry. But surely Kynesi's sending like 5 goons, or maybe saving up for a mam shipment behind. He does have, doesn't have mams in deck, but he does have goon combat and 5 goons, 1k coin. He's training goons now behind this. Castor is just walking into the base, just strutting in, not fearing any spahis or a hussar or mam open here from Hazza. He's got the 5 spahis, 4 mams.
He can just retreat to the frigate as well, and the frigate battle is just not going to happen because Kynesie got 2 TC on the pond, so yeah, it's just over.
So, Kynesie, the greatest water player there is, going pure land versus Ottoman and catching Haitch strategically off guard. Kynesie gets his first points on the board. Series so far 2-1 to Haitch.
Yeah, really fun game. A lot of mind game during that one, and
So
yeah, and it's also one of the problem you have with Ottoman is that your explorer is constantly busy doing something, and you can't scout that much. And yeah.
So obviously the opening card here was Silk Road. If Kynesie was to look at his deck, he'd see some of the opening opportunities here for H is either Silk Road or Schooners. There's no 3 villas here whatsoever. I suppose in this build you don't need it, but that's useful scouting information for Kynesie in its own right there. But the wood trade was really nice. It gave obviously the tempo on the water with the 4 galleys, but obviously only those 4 galleys, 2 of them costed 600 wood plus the 2 docks, so 1,000 wood there to get your 2 docks, 2 galleys. That's basically the 700 wood shipment at that point with all the extras onto it from the spice trade. But I suppose he sent in the 700 wood at a later point, and that was what he used to get to the artillery foundry down more houses, maybe market. Hex, I see he's got steel trap, place of mines there. Is he hunting? I can check. He's on steel trap eco as well, and obviously the stagecoach behind. So he spent that wood elsewhere. But Kynesie just with the tempo H3 play. Yeah, I really wanted to watch that water play. Now you say that, I'm really curious to see how that goes because. But the other thing is, it's 600 HP high attack, but 600 HP fragile boats versus advanced dock, a town center on the coast, maybe an extra outpost. On this map, I feel if you just put a town center mid map and send team coastal defenses, I don't see what Otto can do there because their boats are so fragile to anti-ship attack. It's interesting.
Yeah, but at the same time, as bots, you don't really want to place your TC there just because there's no natural resources around, which is just super annoying in the early game for your villagers that you're training from the TC. And I mean, the point of the galleys from the Ottoman are just to prevent ports from fishing in the sea, really, and having the stagecoach behind that to work for you. And then, yeah, if ports cannot gather on the sea for the first minute, then suddenly Otto has the same or more eco than ports with the stagecoach.
Yeah. It's a win there for Kynesie. He's currently 2-1 down. H is still up. And now that Kynesie has taken a victory, it is H's time to pick a map. Let Kynesie pick his civ and allow H to counterpick. The Portuguese, the Spanish, and the Ottomans still available there for H, and we'll move on into that next game and see what it is and how he goes about it. So recorded games, and
I'll just be right back in a second.
No worries, mate. I'll crack on. So we're up to game number 4. Let's go. Welcome back, guys, to game number 4. H dropping the well played. Played him like a damn fiddle. It's nice to see players appreciate each other's skill as well. So I give credits there where credits due. Right, Colorado, game number 4. It is game number 4. I think Dakota there is there as a mistake. Let me just. Actually, no, we'll carry on. I was about to say let me check it, but oh yeah, of course. I was just checking the overlay there. In fact, I had the overlay because I wanted to check if Colorado was actually the 4th map, but I think it is. So that's all good. Don't worry, boys. We're here. We're all good. Right. So Kynesie won the last game on Dakar. His first pick is the Japanese civilization here. Haitch gets to counter pick. And he's gone for the Spanish civilization. Spain, a nice strong civ. Also, another player has gone for the defensive trading post here, but I feel the forward TP here is probably a better option here for Haitch, especially as once he's dropped his TP, he can take the treasures in the mid-map and then push down into this very treasure-rich region to the southern side of the map. 60 food down here. There's 120 XP. On the northern side, he does find 95 wood there, so the treasure RNGesus, as some like to say, is favouring Haitch in his situation. Meanwhile, Kynesie, 80 coin, a strong treasure, but it won't be affecting his Age 1 play that much.
The Portuguese consulate for Kynesie. Where is he dropping? Market?
In base, yeah, market. Sorry, I was just looking at the chat. Somebody was saying I'm having like a bit of a food coma. Yeah, started with the overlay up, but I was checking the overlay because it may have been Dakota game 4, but it's definitely Colorado. I remember Noel saying actually it's going to be not going to be Colorado for game 4. But the market's nice, gets his first food tech, but also he's bought a batch of wood with that coin because he did get the 80 coin treasure. Did he get another coin treasure? That would make sense if he did. Kynasie's just picked up 90 wood. Did he steal that? No, that's the 3 cougar treasure. Oh, I've just been checking the wrong thing at the wrong time, haven't I? Alright, all you need to know is Kynasie's got a lot of coin and he spends it in the market. That's the most lowest Bob way of commentating I can think of. Me noob.
Yes, Spain versus Japan. Curious to see. Okay, if Haza is going for a logistician build.
He might do. And the reason why I say that is you might be thinking, but he chopped for a house. But actually, what happened was he found that 95 wood treasure. So it's like, actually, I could 12-10 logistician, or I can age up logistician with a free house, which I don't have to chop, and I can still get lots and lots of food to still age. He's basically got 800 food now. We'll check, and yes, he's going to age up standard with the governor, which is, well, H knows best, so I assume he's worked and tried both strategies out, and we're going to see more of a traditional standard Spanish play here from H, but certainly a strong start, though, not having to chop any wood for that first house.
Yeah, right. Doesn't look like he's chopping for a second trading post and just gonna gather natural resources right now. I mean, food and coin, and aim for this fast fortress play that you often see as the Spanish.
Oh, he's got that nuclear clubbing out once again, trying to hunt down his cherry orchards, but luckily for Kynesie, he's got both of his cherry orchards at home ready to go. He's also got his second orchard, not yet thrown down, just trying to keep mobile in case he wants to place it next to his town centre or really far defensive in case Spain get really aggro at a point where Kynesie is not prepared. But Kynesie moves in, takes out the 60 food treasure, easy treasure to pick up. H is nearby, forces the explorers to go off and split in different directions. One explorer is likely to poof back, the other explorer will carry on shrining, but I think H knows this. I see a forward villager here. H, remember, you're not playing as the Swedes anymore, you're playing as the Spanish. What's this villager doing? Maybe he's just going to herd this elk back, but actually sees this explorer and actually makes Kynesie cancel that shrine instead. Should we look at the Spanish deck? Yeah, good time to look at the Spanish deck. So it's agent up with the governor. 1v1 Goon Lancer is the play for this deck. That's what he's named it. We've got to remember, Cav Combat now affects Spanish Dragoons as well. Goon Lancer, that does sound like a very strong combo.
Yeah, he's got advanced artillery as well.
Oh wow, oh, that is some spicy stuff to see in a tournament game, especially it's on a land map as well, which sounds a bit interesting. But I think he's preparing or thinking mentally, okay, Goon Lancer cleans up the Spanish army out in the open, but if Kynesie walls up, plays very defensive, well, I've got a couple of mortars to use in the third age to kind of break him from distance and force him to come to me instead.
It's just a good card to have in this meta game, just so you don't have to actually go h4 and give your opponent time to actually do something about buildings. And yeah, so unlocking mortars, just even like 2 mortars in h3 to push into an opponent just camping in his space is pretty good.
Slightly interesting how there's no infantry card here whatsoever. So you've got the 8 pikemen, but maybe infantry HP could have worked there, or I don't know what else other cards you would have if you're not actually investing into the infantry. He's got the advanced arsenal, but the only advanced arsenal tech there is for the cavalry is the siege improvement, pillage. I think it's like 30% on your siege. Has 12 pikes and 9 rodoleros. No advanced church card as well. That's it's not nothing. Just a card. It's just not there really. Yeah. I guess it's just Spanish gold, 1k wood, 5 lancer, cav combat, 4 lancer is my guess of the ship progression. Given if there's no walls. But do I see a bit of walling already? Here we go. The first wall of the series so far has been thrown down. And actually, it's surprising we'll have to wait to game number 4 to see some walling action. Kynesie, from his point of view, he does scout the defensive outpost, though. So that's one thing I wanted to check from Kynesie's side is if he had actually known where this outpost is. We have seen some Spanish players drop the outpost right in the middle of the map. Sometimes it works. Sometimes they regret it. But Haitch is not playing the games, he's not rolling the dice, he's playing safe, he's playing in base, and should be able to age up safely behind.
Yeah, indeed, and looks like Kynesie's training units in H2, so he's not going for the 600 coin FF that we've seen him doing versus Sweden earlier in this series, but yeah, looking like a full H2 play so far, with the early stable being dropped as well to add some Naggies. And yeah, 5 ashes are gonna pop. He's got 180 pop of shrines as well. So we'll see what he does with that.
That is actually a lot of shrine pop versus Spain. Like, you know that Spain's going to age up, and you should be aware that Japan have some sort of weakness to lancers. 190 shrine pop is rather economically greedy. Will Kynesie have enough kind of mass behind when Spain goes for that push? He's sending 600 coin now, so he's likely looking to age behind. It says the shrine's on coin at this point. But maybe a couple extra wars will buy him the time he needs. Let's look at the Japanese deck before the age up gets complete. Looks like Haitch aged up with the crossbow age up, which I think is a very strong age up there for the Spanish player. And Nagi in Q, he might cancel it. He doesn't need it. One Nagi's going to come out, which actually could do a lot of damage to the crossbows. Here is the Japan player deck. No improved buildings. That's not the Kynesie I know, but a full stack of cavalry upgrades in the third age. Nagi HP, double Yabusam card as well, and Royal Mint and Refrigeration. So this is like a late game, I'm trying to play long type deck.
Yeah, definitely. Full unit upgrades as well. So yeah, he's gonna age. Let's see how he's gonna hold the Spanish push, which will be coming relatively soon. Spanish gold, 1k wood, so no, I'm not actually going for falconets early H3. And yeah, so Kynesie will probably get away with this H up quite safely. Gonna lose a few shrines, but not the end of the world.
Buttercup, the pet Cougars, run into the base. Such an inconspicuous unit as well. It's not often you're thinking, oh my god, there's a Cougar, but if it was like a Hussar, you're thinking, oh my god, Ville's guessing, let's go and try and pick it off. Trying to scout, does see a very backwards cherry orchard, so that'd be a nice place to kind of run your cav to. And these are the type of things I know that Haitch really likes to get his knowledge. He likes to know, actually, if he is underneath the town centre, where can I run next? He always likes to, because he always assumes that there's villagers behind the town centre, so it's a very smart way to kind of catch them and trap them from going to the town centre. Unfortunately for him, he misses the age-up Wanzer. which is quite big.
Yeah, that's big information. He could be much more aggressive right now if he knew that Kynesie was sieging. But yeah, he doesn't, and so that window that Spain has to send two falconets and push the Japanese base is just gonna be non-existent here because well, Japan will most likely go for two flaming arrows first.
Looks like Haz has got his Spanish war dogs at stand at ground or stand at ease, and they're not actually. They are chasing actually. I was about to say they seem to be very placed very positionally, so they only attack nearby. But actually, here comes some crossbows and dogs picking up some solid kills there. You know, see 22 hand attack and quite a lot of HP. Will certainly pick a lot, but it's more of just how I saw like this one dog was just sat in the shrine, just waiting for the Japanic explorer to come across and then get bitten by the Spanish war dogs, but trading quite a lot of his bestiaries from the dogs. Actually, in the end, it's a good trade for Kynesie, but it's vital information for Haitch. Know that he's spent this export on bestiaries instead of saving it for the Japanese consulates or other consulates.
Yeah, and second TC for the Spanish player. Interesting.
Also 12 pikes. That's It's not the most standard shipment. It's a strong shipment. Don't get me wrong. It's a very strong shipment. And given that Haitch has kind of gone skirm heavy, he's already built 15 skirmishers, and he's got more across the map and more being trained behind this. That does provide him that anti-cavalry support. And like a 12 pike shipment just feels like it's a shipment you kind of want to push underneath your opponent's base very, very quickly. But because of the 12 pikes, a lot of them, he's housed. He's dropping down 2 houses behind this. Another shipment ready to go. Is he going to send falconets, or is he going to send some cavalry and start actually going towards this cavalry play that he's been pressed in to go into all the game? And there's the 5 lancers. The lancers being trained from the stable. Still no falcons. But I think he realises it's the flaming arrows at range and possibly can put the falcons under pressure.
Yeah, and this yeah, okay, Kynesie got a wall they can retreat to, but the melee skirm are just gonna get nuked. But still, he has to be careful. He's training Yabusami as well. Perhaps he's expecting 2 Fox and also Wolverines from the Spanish player, but if 10 Lancers show up, because he's got some in queue and he's got 5 on the way as well, if those show up, then that's just a clean up.
Yeah,
only 3 will get trained.
Especially as more dogs coming out, there's pikes on top side as well. They can just go in and just soak up. There's so many units available. That town centre does go up, so that means Minutemen is available as well if he chooses to cancel the Ville and train it. Nagas move forward to try and block the Lancers. The Ashes need to get into hand combat here, but they're very bad units versus cavalry in the hand combat. There's so many skirms here. There's the Flaming Arrows that they do some damage, but actually there's too many infantry for them to knock down. The Spanish Lancers straight on top of the Flaming Arrows already. And Kynasie's really pushed out a bit too early here, it seems. He's just been cleaned up out in the open, away from his walls. Here come the War Dogs, another batch being trained from the Explorer. See how as soon as one batch gets picked off, more trained being come in. And where are those Lancers? There are more Lancers somewhere on the map. I don't know where they are, but they should be in the fight here for Haitch.
They are all dead, I think. He's got more in queue and 4 on the way as well, but I thought Spain would just clean up this fight, but turns out it's been quite an even trade, and even trade means it's just good for for Japan, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. All those Lancers did go down. I only saw like 5 come in, but there was like 8 or 9 being trained in total. Explorer still training more dogs at the moment. And behind this, Kynesie is quite happy with his eco. Massive shrine pop, remember. Currently at 200 shrine pop. 2 town centres from Haitch, but he hasn't trained too many villas from that second town centre as of yet. We'll manage to finally mop up the remainder of this infantry, of this army. But this is useful information for Kynesie. And actually, I think he will notice those extra Lancers there from the shipment if he was paying that much attention. Well, you can certainly see now from the shrines. So he knows that cavalry's coming in. And I think this kind of Yumi Yabusam kind of meta Japan have kind of drifted themselves into, I think it's going to be fine, because there's always the threat of mass Rodoleros coming out from the Spanish player. I mean, maybe this game we won't see them because it has not electing to have Rodolero combat. But Yumi and Yabusam should do quite well versus Lancer skirmishers, and the score leads is currently in favour of Kynesie, and I feel that the long-term economic potential as well is Japan favoured as Spanish gold wears out.
Yeah, I don't get why Kynesie is pushing so
Pushing,
hard though.
yeah.
I feel like he has zero reason to actually
Falconet's
push ever.
out. One flame now just get a shot on the Falconet, but it won't be enough to get the 2-hit kill. The Nagis are having to go in quite deep to commit here, but the trees, the paraffin, the blocking, I think a batch of minutes should come out here from Haitch very quickly. But here comes the goons. So 5 goons going to come out and do quite well versus the Nagis. The Nagis are just paraffin around. They can't get on top of the artillery. Finally, the one flame arrow picks up the one, and Nagi picks up the other. But actually, the Nagis haven't done as much as they really wanted to, and all this time, ranged attack Golden Pavilion has been the one chosen instead of HP. I think that would have been a better choice there for his high HP Nagi units tanking. Minutemen do come out. One last finally does get some to the skirmisher ranks, but the goon support came at the right time and is forcing Kynesie back once again. And even trade at the very best, slightly
trade again.
Slightly in favor of Haitch there, but let's look at the economies. 38 vils with 2 TP Spanish gold behind this. Kynesie 41 vils, and let's not even begin to count the shrines. He's got the Sugar Shrine and full shrine population behind. Haitch just needs to master this point.
Eco is much stronger.
Yeah.
For sure. He has to send to Cherry Orchard that he's sending right now, though, so he's not gonna get a massive power spike just yet. He's also going for Imperial Bureaucracy. So yeah, going for the economic approach, which means that maybe Spain has time to remass faster. Keep sending these H3 shipments. He's still got Roderos to send, I think, and yeah, going for skirmisher and dragoons now.
Yeah, the thing is, he's sending 9 Roleros because he hasn't got enough cavalry to really justify the Cav Combat or the Caballeros Lancer card behind this. You know, those techs are available. He still has advanced artillery, but there's a flaming arrow out in the field. He's playing versus Japan with the Abu Sams as well, so they can move and snipe out these high, very expensive pieces of artillery. You know, the horse artillery is a strong piece of artillery, but because they take so long to unpack and reload, they are actually quite vulnerable to Yabba just running up, sniping them, and running away before the horse artillery can actually get a volley off. So I'm not expecting to see this advanced artillery card coming in. You have to assume Cav Combat is the next card here from Haitch, but it just feels so weird seeing a Dragoon mass from Spain these days. Haitch has turned Spain into a skirm goon civ all of a sudden, and at the moment, with no unction, a bit of a weak one.
Yeah, right. Although Skirmisher Dragoon is just the perfect composition versus what Kynesie is doing, so maybe if Haza can micro really well and keep getting good trades, then he has a shot. But he's busy sitting shrines now because his next source of food is shrine at the moment. So, and this small wood, this small wall is just so annoying for Spain to deal with because the flaming arrow is just getting value all the time. And yeah, it's full HP as well, so you can't just snipe it with skirmishers. And
yeah, it's a smart wall.
Yeah,
it reminds me of like kind of an Age of Empires 2 style, where let's say this is your wood line and you have your lumber camp. Let's say here, you kind of wall off the sides, just to kind of give your gatherers just a bit of protection it needs. But what has happened is, you know, is this big cliff here. You can't pass through the cliff. I know it sounds quite obvious common sense, so all the infantry and army want to path right through this horizontal line at this point, but actually this little bit of wall here forces the Spanish player to go to the northern side, and just all the ranged infantry there from Spain can just sit from Japan can just sit there, and this gate provides safe passageway through as well. So, you know, let's say things weren't going that well for Japan in the fight, there's always an avenue just to retreat at that point.
Yeah, and Haitch identifies that he just can't really get something done in the middle, so he's just going to move his army to siege shrines and perhaps be a bait for Kynesie's army to go forward a little bit.
Lois versus Life in the chat saying that the chat's collective game knowledge is in the negative. Thankfully, I'm not part of the chat, so hopefully that's not including me as well. But that's a funny. We've got Repentant Black Riders. This is part of the OP Japan strat, of course. Just the casual monastery into Black Riders.
Arsonist. That's basically rolling at this point.
Oh, he's got it. He's training. Why would he have Arsonist? I suppose Skirm Goon has a place, but just go full Yumi at this point. But the Goons are trying to chase down this Nagi heavy composition, but the Yumis are just going to stand still and change their fire. This is really good position here from Kynesie. Kynesi's like eco has just exploded out of nowhere. He's got 2 town centers pumping already, but these units are so strong. His units are now on the HP dance, so all his Nagis have 396 HP behind this. Did send that Yumi card just to kind of help remass, but Skirm Goon versus lots of Yumi just feels quite hard. It's quite tough. Here comes the Cav. That's going to right-click these Culverins. There's not many artillery pieces in the field for Kynesie, so the Culverins not contributing too much at the moment, but the Black Riders are certainly a very pleasant surprise. Get an HP bonus from the Golden Pavilion, and the fact that they're repentant, possibly not. That was a thing in the old game. But Haitch having to kite with all his life just to keep this game going, run into the woods to protect. But that forward town centre's gone down. Got off the hand infantry, getting cleaned up now by the Ashes and the Clubman. The Explorer's down, no more War Dogs. He could buy it back. Let's look at Haitch's perspective. What is he training? He's shipping Lancer Cav cards. Training 3 Lancers, only 1 skirmish at the moment. He hasn't got that much coin at the moment. He will get coin from the shipment, but the batch of units will be trained very, very soon. And the economy from Haitch is looking rather tired in a polite sense compared to... Minutemen have gone to the Northern TC. Looks like Haitch hasn't got his military waypoint forward. The GGs have been called. Haitch ain't playing so bad. And yeah, the game's over. And probably not the standard or traditional way we'd see Spain play into Japan. What would your assessment on that game?
Yeah, definitely agree. Going for that Spanish gold 1k wound approach, it just doesn't seem to work versus Japan, because no matter how greedy you try to go with Spain, you just get out ecoed by Japan, and then Japan with untouched eco and H3 units, and when they start counting them and get big batches with Bushido as well, it's just out of control.
Yeah, the Bushido principle is given the extra train capacity for Japan, just allows them to very easily and gives them that flexibility to change up their composition at a click of a finger. Oh, I've got a Nagi, I've got a Yumi, and an Ashi trained in each of my buildings. But actually, how do I want to do this? Do I want to do like 10 Ashi, 5 Yumi, 2 Nagis? Or do I want to go Nagi heavy here and just forget the infantry? Just gives all this flexibility. All the units are being buffed by the Golden Pavilion in its own sense. I don't think any upgrades cards were sent there from Kynesie, but he didn't need to, because he had the right unit for the right job. He had all the unit compositions he need, and had the Yumis chasing the Skirm Goon with the Black Riders following. He had the Musketeers dealing with the Rodelleros and sieging down to the south. More Yumi reinforcements run towards that kind of Skirm Goon mass, and enough Black Riders to kind of make a Spanish Lancer charge.
Black Riders, yeah.
Yeah, just try and it would get some kills, but you know the fact there's Black Riders, it's not smart defensive play there from Kynesie. And yeah, the series is 2-2. The reverse sweep from Kynesie is on. I'm thinking Kynesie can take the series. He's still got, because this was the the neutral map for game number 4. We're back into the each player's map pool, and it's Haitch to pick his next map, and I assume it's not going to be Alaska. It's going to be the other one. Let's take a look onto the Civ draft to see what maps are going to be. It's going to be either Kamchatka or Mongolia. Wait, have we seen Kamchatka? I don't think we have. No.
No, we didn't.
Oh yeah, because it's
so
game 4 was neutral map, wasn't it? Let me update that for you. And big win next to Japan there. So 2 Japan wins each. We'll be back to the territory of Japan STO 2OP, please nerf, because that's what all the 1000 ELO players and lower would definitely say in that situation.
Yeah. Currently 2-2. So Kynesie is coming back, but he used these 2 best saves pretty much, Japan and ports, and he won with them. So now the last scary, the most scary save remaining for Kynesie is Inca for sure. But yeah, he has to win 2 games. So I'm curious to see him play some Aztecs and more Haudenosaunee for now. But yeah, next map is going to be Kamchatka or Mongolia, depending on what Haitch decides to pick, or Alaska, of course.
just having a snack there to get me back into the mood. So the map is Mongolia. Both players.
Yeah. We'll see. You can still do market and logistician because you get 100 coin crate on this map. Which is also why it's a really nice map for Inca, because you want to get your 4 villages big button, and with 300 coin, then it gets so much easier. But big treasure contention here. Ooh, close. It's gonna be hard. There's the dog coming in as well. He's trying to block, yeah. But he's blocking his Mongol scout with his own explorer, so it's just not working so far. I think it's gonna die, yeah. I think you're muted, my friend.
How was that
I
happen?
received quite a few messages.
Yeah, that's so strange. Sorry about that. I generally not pressed the mute button in Discord, so I don't know how that's happened. Maybe it's a keyboard shortcut for Discord while I was trying to use a keyboard shortcut in the game for like trying to find something. Oh, that's really surprising. Oh well. You haven't missed anything. At least you can actually see what's happening. Abra, the typical low caster. Oh well.
Yeah, a free treasure for Spain being collected right now, which is gonna be really good because he's eating some yaks. He's trying to age 14.
So that's definitely going to be a standard governor age up. He's eaten a couple of yaks as well. Got that food treasure aging behind and aging up, yes, with the governor age up. One thing I want to check from the Inca's side is whether we're going to see some kind of a Native American allies, or we're going to see Friendship Woods. He does have that card in deck available to him, so that is a tactical option if you wanted to go for that.
Oh, yeah, it could be the native rush. What do you have on this map? Sufis, I believe, and Ratans.
Yes, so Brother's just sent me 6 messages and literally has sent me a picture of somebody I knew from school. Layla. All right, back in the real world. When your brother sends you 6 messages, you think it's urgent, but he's at a wedding. He's probably quite drunk. He's like, "Hey, who's this person you know?" I'm like, "Oh, go away, Mike. I'm busy right now. This is more important. This is the round of 8 of the ESOC Global Championships between Kynesie and Haitch. This is 2-2, game 5. Yeah. I need to get back into this. Like, my head's gone from that. Somehow, no idea how that mute happened to brother on the side, but 300 words, aging up now. He's aging up with the chief. That'd be the double war hut. Would he go defensive and try and play for time, or would he go mid-map? Will Spain try and go age 2, age 3? And from your knowledge of Spain, do you think the age 3 is the wise option here? Is there any way that Inca can deal with Spanish Lancers?
Well, their units are not that bad. Their pikes are pretty strong, and Chimu runners do well versus Lancers as well. Spain could have gone ATP here, but it's kind of the mind game, because if you look at the Incan deck and you see like the native rush being an option, then you definitely don't want to go ATP. Because if you do and you grab 3 or 4 TPs, then your FF is going to be super slow, and then you might actually die to the native rush. And ooh, this Incan Explorer might go down once again.
God, this Incan Explorer has just turned into an XP farm here. More dogs being trained. Haitch really wants this kill and actually wants to deny the train post as well. So the train post has been deleted, but another 100 experience points going to Spain. 700 going into 700 wood has been sent, but you know, when Haitch reached that fortress age, he's going to be swimming in shipments, and that's going to give him so much tempo. Could be sending. And I guess he could easily squeeze in Splash Gold here, even if he still wants to go aggressive.
Oh my god.
Given how many
He
experience...
killed him once, he's gonna try to kill him again.
Yeah, because the age up's coming, isn't it? Yeah, that's a very good point you make.
And yeah, so he trained a few dogs, but he had some yaks under his DC, so it's not gonna affect his age up time at all.
Yeah, he's still gathering the coin crates with 4 villagers, so he's not gathering it slowly. It's just a 200 food short, so that's where the dogs come in. But actually, if you manage to pick up this Explorer twice for 200 XP, then it's so worth it. Dog's slightly idle there, but once the snares come in from the Explorer,
all these
84
fields are idle
HP.
right now.
This is going to be such a nice pickup there for Haitch. And after the last game, Haitch wants to get back on the board, back on for a good form, and 300 experience points from Explorer farming is certainly a nice way to go about it. He might lose the Explorer, but that's not the end of the world. Picking up another 100 XP. Is he going to get it? It's the Mongol Scout. He's going to chase it down. It's going to be enough. The dogs might get picked off, though, which is unfortunate. But yeah, Kynesi's trying his best. 1 HP and gets picked off there.
Yeah, it's gonna go down. Yes, Spain going to the Fortress Age. What is Kynesie doing during this time? He seems he's been dropping a lot of Kensha houses.
He's now training a double batch of plumed spearmen from his northern 2 training posts. Spain does have 1 trading post, but it doesn't look like he wants to take this down. That forward outpost from the governor went mid-map. Does have those dogs to try and defend it. Only a couple managing to get out too, and Explorer's down. So at the moment, this outpost is a bit of a freebie here for Kynesie, and he will certainly take his opportunity to take this tower down. He has seen it, right?
For sure.
Yes, he
but
has.
That's a good trade for Spain, actually, because Inca is, I'd say that he's investing so much into like denying this forward outpost from the Spanish player that he won't be able to age anytime soon behind that. And he also has to train some crossbows, some jungle bowmen, sorry, because the Spain age up comes in time, and sending Rodel arrows and stuff like that, and he could actually save his tower if Inca doesn't make any jungle bowmen.
Even if the Splash pikemen do come in time, which I don't think they will, why would you send pikemen here over Rodeleros? I feel like Rodeleros are just better in all respects, apart from protecting falconets and siege. But even in that sense, when you have enough, the pikemen, they won't be that strong versus the plumed spearmen here. Musketeers will come out to defend, and Haitch has got another shipment ready to go. But that could be just an extra Fortress Age shipment. He's said, I'd rather have the 8 pikes and bit the tempo that brings.
I mean, rods are just better to fight, but pikes are better to siege. And I think Haitch this time is not going to go for a Spanish gold build, but he's just going to go super aggressive, and I really think he should.
Yeah, he aged up with the Sergeant at Arms, 8 pikemen here instead of, let's say, the 4,
so many pikes.
4 hussars. And I feel, maybe another shipment works better, but it looks like because he's got the 16 pikemen, he doesn't need to send 12 pikemen or 9 Roleros to protect the falconets. He can just send falconets straight away. He's got all his heavy infantry musketeers. He's going to go pure heavy infantry, cannon, fast push in, and trying to nuke Incan player. Would he go for the 2 war huts, or would he go in base? I would assume he's going to go straight to the base. I think his waypoints are moving down to the south, but actually to the north side we do see a forward 700 coin, and that's not what you want to see in a round of 8 in the Global Championships. That we've all done that. We've all been there, and it hurts every time. And it's sometimes it's reassuring to see even the best players have these little
makes mistake. Yeah, especially in a tight series right now. It's 2-2. It's quite a decisive game, and I wanted to know if Kynesie was aging, but more jungle bowman. So I don't think he's aging at all, and maybe he's making Chimu. Yeah, he's making Chimu runners, but there's so much handicap there.
Yeah, pikes having multipliers versus the light infantry that are the Chimu runners. So certainly nice defensive units, and there's so many units here as well that the falconets can be nice and tightly sandwiched by all his pikemen. And yeah, it feels like Kynesie has to somewhat commit, otherwise he will lose his 2 war huts. And because he's not aging up anyway, he can't really wait any longer. It's not going to get better for him the longer this waits, because the Spanish army is just going to grow and grow, especially after all those experience points that Haitch already got. He's sending another shipment now. That's going to be the Lancers. And yes, the Chimas are trying to raid. And the pikes are going in. I wouldn't say this could be a base trade, but abusing the fact that the Falcons are certainly immobile. And the Warhawk's going down. No units nearby. Kynesie is going deep into Hazard's base. Lancers will pop up soon, but he's actually going to take down houses very, very quickly and try to kind of slow Haitch down this way. Minutemen being called, trying to ransom his Explorer, but he's got no coin available. And is Haitch just trying to buy his own time as well, or is he started panicking? Maybe Spain might just go straight to team because
trying to survive, because he's gonna and kill as many pikes as possible, because he's got the lancers popping, and he sent the pikes back, which is I believe a really good decision there. Lancers are gonna pop the pikes in time. There's some dogs as well, and meanwhile,
oh, look, all the villagers tanking the plume spearmen as well. This is great placement. Even though they don't have the great coats, plume spearmen only do 13 hand attack, and these settlers have 20% melee resist. There's no units putting pressure on the falconet, but one falconet did go down. Was it a side Chimmy raid, or was it the bowman?
I think it was a Chimu pop from the Wahat, and yeah, the Chimu died, but one of the falconets died as well.
Yeah, so all this infantry push from Kynesie's gone down, and now Haitch is knocking on the door of the Incan base, and there's not really much response. Kynesie calls the GG, and Haitch takes game number 5 and retakes the lead in this very tight series. It's now 3-2.
Yeah, a solid build order execution from Haitch there, and not panicking when Kynesie tried to like save his Warhead by just counter pushing under the Spanish TC, and like really good veil pull with the Minutemen, the pikes being pulled back as well, and yeah.
Let's look at the military population. It's that tells the story that at the end, that cleanup underneath Hazard's base didn't really lose too many units. Was training another batch. Minutemen obviously here helping the numbers pad out a little bit, but also the military units taking down the 2 forward war huts weren't really getting picked off. Yes, a falconet did go down. That's probably this drop in population here, but trading off very well versus the Incan units. I think that there wasn't 44 units in Hazard's base in terms of population. I think some units being popped out the war hut also get picked off as well. But yeah, all the experience points from the fighters as well, just really helping Haitch in climbing that experience total. And at the end, all this extra XP from the fighting will just mean some more shipments, more tempo. And unfortunately, the Incan player just wasn't able to keep up, and the GG came in quite soon after that cleanup. So yeah, 3-2. Let's go look at our Civ draft overlay in between the games. And yeah, Haitch has now won with the Spanish. He's only got 2 civs remaining to pick from. That's going to be the Ottomans or the Portuguese. But I don't think Haitch minds too much saving the Portuguese. Kynesie still has his water maps available to play. It's his turn to pick a map. Well, there's only one map he can really pick at this point, and that's going to be Saguenay. I don't believe there is a mandate for it to have to be Summer Saguenay. It might actually. So we'll check how that goes in. But Summer Saguenay, we've seen a lot of show matches on Saguenay recently of are the Portuguese OP, and it turns out apparently they are. Kynesie winning that series versus Breeze 4-3. Let's see what Haitch can do with the Portuguese on Saguenay, which you have to assume that's going to be the civ he's going to play on that map.
Yeah, it's the most logical choice. You could, I don't know. I just felt like Otto would just stomp Aztecs, but you have to think that Kynesie would probably most likely go for either Inca or Haudenosaunee on this map.
Right, guys, welcome back to game number 6. And yes, the Portuguese have been selected by Haitch, and he'll be spawning to the west of the map in the colour red. It is Summer Saguenay. Kynesie has chosen the Incans, one of his main civilizations. He lost in the last game with these guys, but managed to put on a good show for us. But now Incan water is a different prospect to land Inca, and Kynesie likes to play this civilization very defensively, going for the water. Could be a long game, this would be. Both players likely to fight for the water, islands. But we have also seen this is a strong map for the Incan native allies rush. So we'll check the deck, and that'll give us an idea. Obviously, the Huron allies here, being siege units, is a very strong native unit to deal with the Portuguese town centres. Meanwhile, 3 stray sheep being picked off here by Kynesie down to the south. More importantly, converting an outlaw rifleman. Looking at Haitch, no wood being chopped. No opening trading post going to get thrown down.
That's 10-10 for sure. 10-10 without the training post.
I'm sure he's still going to go water though. Crackshot's one of the polar bears. Knowing that the Incan player doesn't have a crackshot available, going to let his polar bear reset and try and pick off the outlaw rifleman. Obviously, the rifleman having its range reduced slightly, so the explorer can outrange it and try and take this pot shots down. But actually, he's going to get trapped on the wrong sides of the map. Could Haitch lose his explorer here? It might be quite close. So it's just
it's gonna be quite the run for H to try to stay alive there.
Honestly, from Kynesie, there's only a couple of vills in the base anyway. It's not really enough to put into the town centre to put significant damage onto the explorer. Yes, he might take this down in 6 shots, but all this time it's just delaying his fort villager technology. You can call it a shipment, but it's a technology technically, so it's going to take a while. And H actually is fine. He's also fine just leaving that treasure. He's going to come around and try to pick it up. Be wise to try and contest it and not let Inca take 100 wood treasure for relatively free. The outlaw rifleman is here, but maybe H is just happy with the 25 XP and thinking, right, you got an outlaw rifleman, I can't safely contest this. And yeah, actually, Kynesi's going to take this. H on the opposite side of the map. Not too sure that the polar bear instant crack shot was the best idea coming out from H. And we do see schooners come here for Kynesie, card number 1. Let's have a quick look at his deck. Tawny deck. I like how he has both the schooners and the American allies in his deck.
Okay. It's, I don't know. I just feel like Hazza will be H2 before Kynesie clicks up, and from there, just Potsy's gonna shine on water.
Well, H is sending schooners first. He's not able to kind of send his 2 caravel as first cards here to really put pressure on Kynesie. Currently moving around.
Yeah,
the
that's
map,
true. You
trying
didn't
to...
go for the training post, so
yeah. So he's
the 2 caravels first not gonna happen.
looking at H's fucker wall. He does see the explorer standing near 90 food, but takes off to the side. Maybe thinking actually, there's a native TP here. He might want to check this to see if that's being constructed at some point. Obviously, that would be constructed with the native Tambo Travar you get from sending the Native American allies if he had sent this card. So that's what H is looking for. He hasn't scouted the water yet. He really needs to decide, be able to scout what type of strategy Kynesi's playing. Because that will dictate basically where he's going to put his second town centre, whether it's going to be nice and defensive or on the coast to try and be annoying. Out comes one fishing boat. Will a villager be transported across? It is. He's going straight onto the second island to the right-hand side. Let's look at the fog of war. The dock hasn't even been thrown down yet from Kynesie. He's aging up now. Here comes the chief, the 2 Warhut Travois. The villagers moving across to build a dock. And I think H must know at this point that Native American allies is not the card of choice. Or maybe, Kynesie, if he has sense, is hiding that Travois on the map very well, and are going to build it later on before he ages.
Yeah, true. Kynesie trying to sneak a dock. Has to be careful, because obviously if bots decided to go for 2 caravels first, then Inca just can't get on water. You can't place the warheads on the shore, because they're gonna die instantly. You can't build the dock, because you will die instantly.
And the other thing is
Chinchara have to lose 2 caravels as well, and yeah.
The dock has just so much line of sight as well. It's not even... He doesn't have to try that hard to scout where this dock is going to be. If this dock was thrown in the corner, yes, it would be slightly hidden, and Kynesie would have that kind of surprise advantage, but it would be placed in such a suboptimal position to try and get onto the water. But yeah, easy scout here from H. Easy 2 caravels. Training a 3rd caravel behind this. Actually gets himself an 85 wood treasure as well. Quite nice. Kynesie trying to pick up 75 wood treasure is pretty fine, but the two caravels instantly putting down one of the fishing boats. Only 15 siege from the dock. Is Inca sending two Chincharas? He's sending advanced dock. I don't think that dock will be alive for long enough, though. He needs the Chincha rafts. He needs to cancel and go Chincha rafts any chance. There's the 3 caravels there. And this water presence here from Kynesie is going to get shut down very quickly. Second dock being thrown in the top side of the map. Advanced dock will come in, actually. So once his fishing boats do get into the second dock, it will be 180.
Yeah, but does this dock even going to go up? This one is going down super fast. There's only 3 fishing boats, and if Haitch follows he's just gonna chase the boats, and he's gonna see the new dock. And I really think he should target this new dock. Or I mean,
it doesn't really matter because the dock has no attack with no fishing boats, and then on the conversely side, no dock means the fishing boats have nowhere to hide. So it's basically a win-win situation. So this dock is training the Chincha raft. He's training a Chincha raft 72 just to try and hold on, but the advanced dock at the moment is not getting the rewards that he wants from that shipment. And the 10-10 from Portuguese once again getting early map control. Is being so dominant on the water. That dock's going to come down. I think one Chincha raft will come out in time, but they'll get picked off on its own. The GG's been called, and Haitch has won the series 4-2.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sports on this map. Good sieve.
Oh, the Portuguese 10-10. The middle islands, the dock, the free scouting for the line of sight gears from the dock as well. So much line of sight. And it looked easy. That's the thing with the Portuguese 10-10 there. It looked pretty like...
It really is. I mean, it just doesn't look easy. It's really easy.
As in, okay, like, you know, a bit of micro, getting some of the right numbers, fair enough. But it was like the idea of, right, build a dock, put one vil in, send it across, build another dock. Schooner's first card. If you see another dock going down, send caravels. If you don't, send 700 wood. I think literally the card order from Haitch was just a dock. Well, there was just the schooners, and then the 2 caravels, and maybe send naval combat just to stamp your authority if the other player tries to commit to the water defense. But 700 wood also works very, very well just to continue the fishing boats. 9 fishing boats as well from the Portuguese at this point. Kynesie and the Incans only managed to get about 4 in total, 4 fishing boats in the entire game. Just not even close. That's the 2 dock production. 2 town centres working behind as well. Is the Portuguese OP on water? Well, yes. Yes, it is. And it is. And if Kynesie, the water king, the defensive king, can't even get onto the water before Hazard does, then unfortunately we won't get treated as that long game. I was really hoping for this series, and actually this series was over in a relatively speedy time. Had a few quick games from both players. Haitch wins this series 4-2. Let's go on to the Civ draft. Let's see. Yep, there's the win. 4-2 for Hazard. And if I can get my other window up, I can see what's the next. Go away. Haitch will move on and will take on the winner of either Izad versus Age of Killer. So another interesting matchup. But Haitch will be very probably favourites to take on either of those 2 players in the semi-finals. Semi-finals is the same kind of situation. Best of 7, Civ draft, map pick. But Haitch can put his feet up. He can relax. He can watch other players play. He can study how Izad and Breeze play. And then he can do his Civ pick and have another period of time to prepare and come up with strategies to defeat these players in the next time. But I think for now, though, that is going to be it for today on ESOC TV. I believe tomorrow we will have another series. I will check which series it will be and roughly the start time and the channel. So if I was to go on to next thing, I think it's going to be EGC TV tomorrow. We're going to have, possibly, it's subject to change within relative times, we're going to have Maito versus Perez on the Sunday. And tomorrow, on Saturday, we have the other 2 series. That's going to be Izad and Breeze and Neutral Bear and versus Keister, if I remember those correctly.
Yeah, you're indeed correct. So
I love how Bram
Haitch, for
I love how Bram in one of the chat says, "Harrison, you are muted suddenly." I just like to think that I somehow muted myself mid sentence. That would just seem even more strange, like how that's even possible. Which I feel a little bit less weird if that was the case, but oh well, bit of fun, bit of banter. Are you available on maybe the Sunday, or is it just today you are feeling for the cast?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, honestly.
See how it comes.
So
See how
can't really tell. But tomorrow I should get more intel. So
Oh, that sounds good. But yeah, some good series are coming up. I would ask if Ozzy wanted the cast, but somehow he put a drill through his PC and messed it up. Which is why you should be using screwdrivers when you're taking apart very delicate pieces of kit or very expensive pieces of kit. It was just fun.
Agreed.
It was fun. You watch it? Did you watch it live as well?
Yeah. I caught a small part of it. I didn't watch the entire thing, but yes, he was really struggling.
He was like a kid at Christmas, just sat going like, "Oh my god, I got a new PC. Let's just do it together. I'm so excited!" And then just a sudden realization of, "Hey guys, it's leaking. Oh no, I've messed up. Oh guys, I got it into stream. Bye. Sorry."
Yeah, this is so annoying.
Oh well.
It's like also when you like forget to plug a SATA or something, and then you finish your PC, and then you're like, oh, I have to like disassemble it completely just to be able to plug that fucking cable.
Right. Well, I think from me, I've got nothing else to do. It's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna head off to bed very, very soon. And the reason I'm going to bed very, very soon is because I'm cycling 100 miles over the weekend for charity, for a military casualties charity. If anybody would feel like sponsoring me and supporting out a very worthy cause while I'm doing it, it's going to be a tough time. I've never cycled that far, and by the end of the weekend, I'm sure I'll be waddling around, probably painful to sit down. I might do a stand-up stream when I get home, or kneel in my chair or something like that. It's going to be pretty painful in that sense, but I'm sure I can take some nice photos, and it'll be a nice trip. Unfortunately, I think the weather forecast on the Sunday is going to be quite wet as well, so it's going to be a bit of a miserable way to end the cycle. Just going for like your 90th mile soaking wet. I'm sure it'll be super fun. I'm quite apprehensive. I'm quite excited. And yeah, it'd be really cool. It's really nice to do like a long cycle with support vehicles as well. So I know I'm not on my own, and if things go wrong, it's not the end of the world. So that is why I won't be available on Saturday and probably Sunday as well. So yeah, that was the only round of 8 game I can probably do unless we put one of the round of 8s later on or next week. And yeah, no, looking forward to it. Enjoyed casting you, Tet. I actually enjoyed that series. Well played to Haitch for winning the series there, 4-2. Kynesie put up some great games there, winning Japan on Colorado on the land, winning Portuguese on Dakar, going for the sneaky land, FF, no water, absolute dupe of the year. Haitch chucking down 4 galleys on the water, then going, wait, there's no boats on the water. What's going on here?
Yeah, this one was the funniest one for sure. A lot of mind games.
Ted, do you want to do some streaming?
Unfortunately, I cannot. I have to wake up early tomorrow morning as well, so
yeah.
I'm just gonna get a snack and
I
go
was thinking, you know, you've earned a couple of viewers if you wanted to play, but if not, that's okay. We'll both be laying in bed watching Twitch then before we nod off. A good way to end.
I mean, I'm barely playing the game now, so I played a ton of games for tournament, of course, and did a lot of practice. But yeah, I'm just fed up with like the ton of Dakar game I've played, like the water games as well.
Oh no, don't say that. Dakar's amazing. It's my favorite go-to. Although I do appreciate the kind of tactical struggles that it does provide, and certainly some out of the box games. But yeah, it's certainly a fan favourite. So you've certainly put on a good show in that sense. And maybe has the Sweden syndrome got to you a bit too much as well? Of the what game should we play today? Our opponent's playing Sweden. Ah, great.
Yeah, and then what else? Oh, some ports water, someone camping with Incan forts and stuff like that. You know. Just the usual.
Just the usual stuff. Well, I've been playing a bit of Age of Empires 2, and yeah, I'm playing for the fun of it. And it's not super serious, but I have enjoyed the few games. It's a really good game to play for about 2 weeks to a month. I wouldn't be playing it for many months in the end, but yeah, maybe getting myself ready for Age of Empires 4. I played Age of
For
Empires.
sure.
I played some 1v1 games this morning. I just felt so felt rusty, so out of the loop. Just my fingers wanted to do different things because I'm playing this different game. I come back, it's like, what's going on here? And I had some actually really close games. It was quite good.
Yeah, I know that feeling. You just gotta wake up that muscle memory and then, back on track.
What on earth was that? I think I know what that was. Let me check something. Hey. Diding. Ah, Lionheart. That's so nice of you. Dropped £10 to the charity as well. Thank you very much. I've also got to fill out something to that as well because I cut my grandparents' grass, £20 a piece, and yeah, it's very nice. I'll be chucking a bit towards that for myself. But yeah, very very nice. Thank you, Lionheart. Very appreciated. Giving the thumbs up. Noyu, is there another match today? No, we're just ambling, chatting, reflecting on the first round of 8. There should be more series tomorrow on the Saturday and the Sunday, so make sure you hit that follow button. Check the ESOC website for any updates, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys that way. So if anybody else felt like sponsoring me for my 100-mile cycle tomorrow, there is the link. Any donations will be very generously supported, even if it is just a couple quid. I'll try and get some photos. I'll try and talk through it, and who knows, maybe I'll catch up with you guys next week just to see how my cycle went on. That's if I make it. Who knows? I might just get stuck in the middle of Dartmoor on my own, freeze to death, and die. Who knows? Probably not. That would mean I get lost halfway through. So let's hope for the best. Right, cool. Right, thanks for that, Castet. I'll see you soon. And to you guys at home, thank you for watching.
See you, mate.
And we'll see each
Enjoy your weekend.
Oh, I will try to enjoy my weekend. I'm going to really love it, but it's going to be really tough. Right, boys, I'm going to head off. I'll see you later. Take care and goodbye.
Bye-bye.